Okay, that's enough of that. Sorry, I had to fix my camera. Good morning. Cough. We live in Ronald's Clown World. Wait, you've never had McDonald's? I I assume you're not from the States then, or a country that has easy access to McDonald's. Personally, I think it's fucked up that they can just make commercials like that. I may or may not have emailed the creator of the art for that to see if they do commissions, but you know. Anyway, I thought since I just got back from the island, I would show you guys some sneak previews. Good evening. What up, Berman? What up, Scott E? Live on the coast in the middle of nowhere. East Asian McDonald's are the best. Very true. Japanese McDonald's is actually good. The fries are always fresh. It's kind of legit. I figured I would share some of the pictures. These are actually not pictures. They're stills from the video that's coming out soon, TM. But I figured I'd share some of these because it was a really cool trip. And I just got back. So this is Yakushima, which is like a very, very, well, that's not really small, but it's like the island is the inspiration for Princess Mononoke. If you've seen that film, if you haven't, it's very good. I highly recommend it. But there's cool forests and stuff there, and we will have a video of the trip coming out soonst. But I took a bunch of pictures. This one's from a cool little shopping center on the first day when I got there. And then you might have seen this on Twitter, but this is a really cool waterfall. Frames? Yeah, I guess they're stills or frames or something like that. This is the first waterfall that I went to. I think this is Senpiro Falls, if I'm remembering the name right. But it's hard to, like, the video is much better just because it moves and you can actually see the waterfall spreading out in front of you. But, like, it's surreal. Just, you know that's I mentioned in the video, but like, you know that scene in Lord of the Rings where like they stand on the road and the it kind of like zooms in, like the framing kind of changes. It felt like that, just standing there, like trying to take in what you're seeing. It's insanely cool. These are not in order. This is from a cool shrine that's like in a cave. I had to hike down a little bit to get to it. Sam is meowing at me. But it was like, we had fantastic weather. The water was insanely blue. And then this is a 2-lane road. I rode a motorcycle around the whole island, but this is literally a 2-lane road. You see that little thing off to the side on the left there? If another car comes, one of you is supposed to go over into that area so that they could pass. I'm on a motorcycle, and I was like, this is very narrow. There were people driving like normal sized cars on this thing. It was nuts. It was a really cool road, but technically 2 lanes. Here's a view from up on the mountain. You can see all the way down to the beach. It's just like really, really green. Extremely green. Here's a picture or a still of me taking a picture of monkeys. Everybody was stopped on the road because there was just like a whole troop of monkeys just chilling in the middle of the road. Like, they did not give a shit. They didn't care at all. They were just sitting there. There must have been like 30 monkeys. And then I had to go past them, but they're just like, we don't give a shit. Like, we don't care. This is our road. And this is like, there was a neat peninsula that you could ride up to. And that's the entrance to the... Yeah, that wasn't him smacking the desk. That was him jumping off of the window. He's not like a good cat. He doesn't like jump down on things gracefully. He just kind of yeets himself off and then lands as hard as he can for some reason. I don't know why. He is just like this. And you can see the fog up on the top. But I took a bunch of, like, I think I've got like 143 gigabytes of footage. So there's just like a ton. Hopefully the video will turn out pretty good. But I thought I would share with you guys these pictures beforehand as like a little sneak preview before we jump back into Valkyria Chronicles, which I'm now opening. I think I gotta hide this. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So I also thought we would hop in and do one of the squad stories because they're always awful. And I think I should probably start turning the squad stories into like a series rather than the, what do you call it? Hold on, I need to drink more caffeine. My brain isn't braining. We've been doing like the highlight reels. I think I should probably do the squad stories as their own thing just because they're so bad. No, I didn't have time to find another Japanese language game to play. I might do a podcast with I forget their names. It's like the Anime Boomer podcast. Yo, what up? Doni odds. Might, depending on how timing works out. But if timing doesn't work out, I'm going to try and go do the robot fight video tomorrow for the 2,500 subs. Oh yeah, those trees, dude. They're cedar trees, which is what Yakushima is really, really famous for. They used to harvest them there. But we'll go back to the Japanese language streams next week for sure, with more Bokuman. Let's do a squad story. You gotta pick a good one though. And by good, I mean bad. Did we do this? A prayer for the broken. These guys. The snipers. Who do we got? Are we past? We have not done the worst TL yet. Let's live unbound. It's like all the sniper squads for some reason. Old dudes, girl in the iron mask. Gambler's Ruin. I don't remember which one of these. I guess we'll just go in order. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I've wiped these squad stories from my mind. I can't remember any of them actually. From the last time I played. Page turning is so slow. Yo, what up, Joker? What up, Psych and Alexander? One thing real quick. I guess we'll just hop in. How goes it? You missed the Gosling posting at the start of the stream.
こっちの懐中時計もなかなか悪くない。
懐中時計? I don't think 懐中時計 is doodad, but hold on. I need to find my place in the script here. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Hold on a second. I don't know, that's like some kind of watch, but I don't think that's like it could be a euphemism for doodad, but no, it's definitely not. He just said pocket watch. So why change it to doodad? こいつは赤になりそうだな。こっちの懐中時計もなかなか悪くない。It's just baffling. Right off the bat, like we didn't get one line in. This is so easy. This is what happens. Like, okay, so I know that the word kaichu doke is like a pocket watch. Like toke is pocket watch, and then there's like it's like it implies like it opens up. You know, it's like it got a picture or something in it. But because they put doodad here, I was like, is there like, could it be a euphemism for like something that I don't know what it is? You just call it that. But no, it is literally just pocket watch. That's it. So, pointless.
大量大量やはり死体あさりは戦闘直後に限るぜ
This might be them splitting this line, but they just left out a bunch of that. Well, so what I mean, Scott, is that just because of like my ignorance, right? There's always the option that in some language they will have a turn of phrase or a metaphor or something that they use some random word to mean like junk, right? Or like doodad or gizmo, right? Those could mean, more specific things. But I just want to double check to make sure. But yeah, this he's saying got me quite a haul today, but he says shitai asari, which is like like shitai asari is like he's grave robbing. He's like taking this off of corpses. Like that's to literally take stuff off of a corpse, and then he says sento chokugo, like right after, grave robbing or corpse robbing is like the best. It's always best to get stuff off of fresh bodies. That's how I would translate this. Like, yeah, we got quite a haul today. It's always best to get stuff up when the bodies are fresh. Like search them when the bodies are fresh, or search them right after a fight. Like he's literally stealing from corpses. No, they just left it out. They literally just left it out. So you don't know. In the English, you don't know at all that he found, or he's literally taking those from corpses. You might think that he's just like searching ruins or finding it or, doing any other thing. You could make the inference, but the Japanese was explicit. He said he's searching corpses.
あ? なんだてめえは?
It's not a shopping spree. I assume Gizmo might be a password from like Gremlins or something. Gremlins. Oh no, it's a Boku. I can't remember if Nico is a guy or not.
それよりゴドウィンさんが手にしているもの、それはここにいる戦士たちの遺留品ですよね。
I saw you stealing. That's not really the accusation that's being leveled here. Not really. Hold on. 遺留品。それはyeah, 戦士. It's like he or I think Nico is a dude. I can't remember. But again, they use the term senshi, which is like dead soldiers. And it's iryuhin is literally like stuff left behind at a crime scene or like after death. Oh, okay. Nico's female? Okay. I couldn't remember. I know there's like at least one dude in the game who's pretty feminine sounding. But it's not I saw you stealing, but it's that stuff you've got. It's like you took those from like fallen soldiers, didn't you? It's not I saw you stealing, but those things you've got, you took them from fallen soldiers, didn't you?
Dame desu yo. 亡くなった方々の金品を奪うなんて。そんなことをしたら罰が当たります。
You can't keep looting bodies like this. It's a sin. You could go to hell for that. No, not really. It's not... Okay, so bachi ataru. Bachi ataru is like to get punished, and it can imply like divine punishment, like in a karmic sense, right? So like bachi ga atarimasu yo is kind of a way of saying like nothing good can come of that. Like it's really, how do I describe it? It's like a set phrase. Bachi ga ataru. It's like, oh, if you do that, nothing. It's really more like nothing good can come of that. And he or she says, like, ダメですよ。亡くなった方々の what is this? 貴重品? How do you pronounce this? 金 and 品. 金品. Okay. Money and goods. 奪うなんて. It's like you can't do that. It's not that you can't keep looting bodies like this, which implies that she has some kind of like knowledge that he's done this before, which would be weird. But it's just ダメですよ。亡くなった方々の金品を奪うなんて. Like you can't be stealing, you know, valuables from people who've died or from fallen soldiers. Nothing. そんなことしたら罰当たりますよ. Which is, if you keep doing that, nothing good will come of it. Or it's definitely not you could go to hell for that. That implies like a whole theology for Nico, which maybe might come later, but is not implied here. It's certainly not you could go to hell. And there's no it's a sin. It's a sin is way over the line. Way, way over the line.
はあ? 何言ってんだてめえ。どんだけ幸せならそんな思考が湧くんだ?
Oh my god. The squad stories never fail to disappoint. It is always like this. Okay, hold on. I gotta remember to be taking screenshots for the haul of shit later. It's just gonna be like every single screen again, though. La La Land. Yeah, as you can probably guess, that's not right. Shocking, I know. So, what does he really say here? どんな幸せならそんな思考が湧くんだ? 何言ってんだってね? Like, this isn't must be pretty nice living in La La Land. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or even like, shut the hell up. Who do you think you are? 何言ってんだてめえ? This one is okay. Actually, but that's not a bad idea. I'll just pull up a notepad real quick. You are right. That is a good point. Thank you, Scott. Oh no, that wasn't Scott. I just assumed somebody was being helpful, so I assumed it was Scott because he's been going through and doing timestamps for everything. Thank you, Berman. Let's see. どんな幸せ? Next. I don't know why they decided to add the keep. I assume that it's because the line was 金品奪うなんてダメですよ. Like なんて奪うなんて something like that. Or そんなことしたら. But no, they just left out the そんなことしたら罰当たりますよ. Because that's more like, if you keep doing that, nothing good will come of it. But yeah, there's nothing about La La Land, Rainbows and Sunshine. The actual line here is, like, what the hell are you talking about? Or even shut the hell up. Or what do you know about anything? You know, I don't know what kind of... You're like, どんな幸せなら is like, what kind of happy... Like, there's definitely this idea of like, you know, I don't know what kind of nice life you've been living that you end up thinking that. But like La La Land, Rainbows and Sunshine is like taking the line and just cranking it to 12 for no reason. It's like, shut the hell up. What do you know about anything? You like must have had some kind of nice life to end up thinking like that. Yeah, like, it's more like you must have had some kind of nice life to end up, you know, to be able to think that way. I don't know if I'm gonna put this as the worst one yet, but it's pretty bad.
俺はな、死んだ奴らの遺品を売りさばいて、それで飯を食っている人間なんだよ。
They're like leaving out. He's being really upfront about it. He's not hiding what he's doing. It's not, but those of us here in the real world gotta get by somehow. It's hard to tell. I don't think it's censorship just because it's so lopsided. Like, sometimes it's very obviously like, oh, we didn't like that, but then sometimes they just make changes that don't make sense at all. Like, this one just doesn't make a lot of sense. 死んだやつらの what is it? 遺留品? 売り yeah, it's like 売り遺品奪ってさばく oh, it's like さばいて okay それ飯を食ってる人間なんだよ he's like it's not like those of us in the real world but it's like you know how I get by I take stuff, you know, I take this stuff off of these dead, you know, these dead guys and sell it. That's how I get by. Or like that's just like the man that I am. That's the kind of person I am. He's not saying like those of us in the real world got to get by somehow. It's like 俺はな、死んだやつの遺品を売りさばいて、さばいて I think? Yeah. 売りさばいてそれで飯を食ってる人間なんだよ. Like, he's straight up about it. You know how I get by? I take stuff off of dead guys and sell it. That's the kind of man I am. There's almost like a hint of like shame or bringing it so far to the forefront that he's just kind of accepted it. Yeah, he's being extremely blunt. He's not doing this like, oh, gotta get by somehow. He's being like straight up like, no, I know I'm stealing. I don't care.
別に舞台に迷惑をかけるわけじゃねえんだ。見逃してくれよ。な？ジョーちゃんよ。
This is weird. Now they're adding extra stuff. Like, they left it out of the previous line, but now they're adding in extra stuff. Yeah, it's like, 舞台に迷惑かけるわけじゃねえだろ。じゃねえんだ。Yeah, so now he doesn't say like besides they're dead they don't need this crap I do. That's just not there. He just says, look, it's not like I'm bothering anybody. I'm not causing any problems doing this. So just, you know, look the other way. Like, leave me alone. Missy isn't bad for Joel-chan. It's kind of like he's kind of saying it in an insulting way, and well, Joel-chan is kind of like a, you know, princess, something like that. It's a way to address a young lady who, it's very specific, but it's like you're kind of, in a normal context, calling somebody Ojo-chan could be pretty nice. It's not it's dismissive in the way that he's saying it, but it's not dismissive all the time. Young miss, little lady, yeah, something like that. But in the right context, calling someone Ojo-chan can be polite. But in this context, he's definitely being dismissive.
そういうわけにはいきません。ゴドウィンさんの行いは死者への冒涜です。
死者への冒涜です。Disrespectful to the departed. I haven't actually heard this word before, so I'm interested. Yeah, so, okay. This is also weird. The part about sin before was, like, wrong, but they're using a word here that I've not heard because it's a religious word. But it's botoku desu. It's not disrespectful, it's blasphemous. It's like, what you are doing is blasphemy, or even like, shisha e no botoku desu. You're like, how do you say it? Profaning the dead, or like desecrating, desecrating a grave. It's not necessarily a grave, because Shisha is not the grave, it's the person. But it's like you're defiling a corpse or desecrating a corpse. What you're doing is desecrating a corpse. It's not like disrespectful to the departed. It's way more harsh than that.
僕が目をつぶっても神様が見ているんです。今すぐ持ち主に返してあげてください。
Yeah, so here's what it is they decided, oh, she has a belief in God, so that means that we have to go back and just make all of her lines about God. So rather than have this be an explanation that comes up naturally in the dialogue later, we just decide to say, it's a sin. You could go to hell for that. Yeah, it's like, it's a sacrilegious, right? So, it's not, I don't think it's like anti-Christian bias. I think they're just stupid. Because they're like, oh, this is her character, so we gotta make it match the whole way through, without realizing that, like, even a character that believes in God or has religious beliefs isn't going to be talking like that all the time, in all contexts. So just because a character believes in God doesn't mean that every single line out of their mouth has to be related back to, you know, God or sinning or hell, right? This line here is actually fine. You know, even if I look the other way, God is watching, right?僕が目をつぶっても神様が見てるんです。Like, 今すぐ持ち主に返してあげてください。Yeah, you need to return, please. It's not even return what you took right now. It's please return what you took. Return that stuff to their rightful owners. Yeah, they don't understand like how people talk in real life.
神様ね。そんなもの言やしねえよ。
Ooh, you like Reddit R atheism fucking. Alright, I'm doing it. This is the worst one. You've gotta be kidding me with this shit. Why are we like this? Why must we be like this? Why are you like this? I can never guess where they're gonna go with this. Hold on, where is this? 神様ね、そんなものいるしね。そんなもの、what is it? そんなものいやしね。Yeah, いやしね。It's like, oh God, huh? There ain't no such thing as God. That's it. That's all he said. This, I'm shaking in my stolen boots. Like, fuck off. Yeah, also, he explicitly said he sells the things that he steals. Why would he say he's wearing stolen boots? That doesn't make sense, even from the character that we've been given. Let's see, the real line would be something like, oh God. The real line is so simple. It's quite literally just, oh God, huh? There ain't no such thing. That's it. I mean, that's all you needed to do. It was pretty easy. It was right there. You could have done it. Like, it's not even that he's being made worse than he is. He's already pretty bad. He's like grave robbing. He's a grave robbing, like God-hating atheist. set up against Nico, who seems to be like a pretty religious person. But they're just like, oh, he robs graves, so like, let's just make him comedic about it.
もし神がいるのなら、俺みたいな人間を生み出さねえだろうよ。
Wow, you really missed the whole point of this line. They really missed the point of this line. Yo, what up, son Bob? So, okay, what he says here is, he's making a classic, like, you know, the classic, like, why does God allow evil to exist kind of thing. Like, that's the argument being made here, right? もし神がいるのなら、俺みたいな人間。I'm saving this one too. This is a good Japanese language lesson thing. Because this one, okay, so here's a really good example of a line that, you know, when you're on Twitter or whatever and people are pointing out really bad localizations and stuff, I bet this one is not one that most people would find, just because it doesn't stand out as, like, you know, obviously terrible. It's not like the crazy feminism stuff or, like, you know, Reddit our atheism tier bullshit. But it's almost worse because it's missing, like, the whole point of this conversation, like where this conversation is going, right? Yeah. So, like, 俺みたいな人間を生み出せねえだろ Yo. Like, people like me, like, if there was a god, you think people like me would exist? Like, do you really think if there was a god, there'd be guys like me in this world? That's what he's saying. It's not, I would have never been born. They took, like, umidasu as, like, literally as born, but in this context, it's really not born. It's like, there wouldn't be guys like me in this world. Like, in a perfect world, men like me would not exist. But this is not a perfect world. It's that, right? If you've never seen that video, just look it up. I love that video. In a perfect world, men like me would not exist. But this is not a perfect world. Yeah, they left out the people like me. The leaving out the people like me is, like, the whole point of this line. 俺みたいな人間, people like me. Yeah, so see, Nico is not prepared to deal with somebody who is just copping to being a bad person. He's just like, yeah, this is who I am, I don't care. Guys like me wouldn't exist if God was real.
ジョーちゃんには分からねえのさ。持たざる者の苦しみなんてよ。
持たざる者の苦しみなんだよ。There's no mention of haves and have-nots other than you just don't get it, like the pain of being poor, is what he's saying. You don't understand the pain of being poor. Like, motazaru mono is definitely, you could make the case for, like, motazaru being have-not. It is one who does not hold. Like, literally, okanemochi is to have money, to be rich, right? But he's saying, like, you just don't get it. Like, you don't understand the pain of, or you couldn't understand what it's like to be poor, is what he's saying. There's no, like, one don't know jack shit about the other. It's not even, like, a weird moral filter. It's just they're, like, dumb. Okane hoshii. What up, Patch? The only time in Valkyria Chronicles 4 that I've seen that has been super, super obvious that they had an agenda was the all the single ladies mission or a squad story. That one was obvious, and I think that's why that video popped off as hard as it did, is because it was just so blatant. But in these ones, it's not that they're like pushing an agenda, they're just stupid. They're like, huh? I don't get it. Oh, I guess this is close enough.
世の中、泥水をすすらなきゃ生きられない人間もいるってことを覚えときな。
He doesn't say this privileged as you. That's not here. And it's doromizu. Doromizu, like that's really. It's like muddy water. It's like it's, but it's also a metaphor for like the underbelly or like the nasty parts of town. Like it can also mean like a red light district sometimes. But it's like 世の中泥水をすすらなきゃ生きられない人間もいるってことを覚えとけよ。覚えとけな。覚えとけな。This I would translate this as like, let me tell you something, or how do you? Yeah, I would go with like, let me tell you something. There's guys like me who have to crawl our way through the mud to make it in this world. Don't forget it. And this oboitoke yo, oboitoke na, is like don't forget or keep that in mind or you better remember. He's telling her like you don't get it. There's this not everyone's as privileged as you is not there. It's just not there. Yeah. Yeah, he's just explaining like this is what I have to do to survive. I don't need your judgment. That's it.
待ってください。
Yeah.
ジョーちゃんのおかげですっかりしらけちまったぜ。
Wait.
また出直すとするか。
Wait to kill my buzz? Sorry, hold on. I got flashbanged by this. It's like I don't know if I would go with that. Cramping my style? It's not. It's wrong, but it's not like. It's one of those ones where it's like, yes, that is what he's saying, but that's not how he's saying it, right? He is saying, like, you're killing my mood here, or like, thanks to your little outburst, because Joe-chan no okage de is like, thanks to you. I wouldn't go with like mood. It's like I don't feel like it anymore. I'll just come back later. Like you're really killing my. I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting stun-locked by kill my buzz. This is more like I don't feel like it anymore. Wait, yeah, way to ruin my day, something like that. It's like, yeah, way to ruin my day. Thanks to you, my day is ruined. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. And then they left out that he said he'll come back later. Mata denausu to suru ka. So I'll just come back later.
ゴドウィンさん。
ああいう輩にはあまり関わらない方が身のためよ。
I think Rosetta is the dude, probably. Let's see. 返してあげてください。ゴドウィンさん。あれにはあんまり関わらない。Yeah, but I don't like. Don't bother with the likes of him. It's a little off. It's more like nothing good will come from bothering with him. It's like it won't be good for you. 関わらない方が身がためよ。身のためよ。It's like it won't be good. It would be better if you left him alone. Better for you if you left him alone. He's not saying with the likes of him. I mean, Ayu is kind of like a guy like that, right?
大丈夫ニコちゃん怪我とかしてないわね
He doesn't say didn't give you any trouble. He said, are you alright? You didn't get hurt or anything. Like, he didn't hurt you. Like, kega is to, like, be hurt. I don't like give you trouble. It's kind of weird. It's more like physically he's worried about her physical well-being.
ロゼッタさん、あの人のことをよくご存知なのですか？
She doesn't answer. She doesn't say no. And how much do you know about him, Rosetta, is so, like, blunt? It's, like, way too, I don't know. It's just, like, so flat. The way she's talking here is not like, how much do you know about him? She's saying, oh, do you know a lot about him? Yoku gozonji nan desu ka? Gozonji is to, like, to know. It's a very polite way of saying. It's like, ano shito no koto yoku gozonji nano desu ka? Is very much like, oh, Rosetta, do you know a lot about him? Or do you know a lot about Godwin? It's kind of like a curiosity thing.
ご存知ってほどじゃないけど私も兵役が長いから同じ正体の人の素性は大体把握しているわ
Not much, but I know a broken man when I see one. 兵役が長いから同じIt's not... I understand what you mean, but it's sujo. It's like... It's not like broken man is way too blunt. It's... I wouldn't say I know him well. You have to match this because she says gozonji, he says gozonji. Like, it backs up. It's like, do you know him well? And then I would say, I wouldn't say well, but I've been a soldier for long enough that I can tell his type, or I can tell somebody's type right away, or like I can tell like where a guy like that comes from. Is kind of what he's saying. It's not like, oh, I know a broken man when I see one. It's I've seen the type before. Yeah, something like that. Like, I've been a soldier long enough that I know his type well enough. Yeah, well enough. That's definitely the interplay I would go for here. It's like, do you know him well, or like do you know, like, Rosette, do you know Godwin quite well? And then, well, I wouldn't say. I don't know if I'd use the word well. I'm trying to think like the bouncing back and forth in these lines here. It kind of has to, you know, Nico says one line, Rosetta says the same line, but as well, I wouldn't go that far, right? Gozonji te hodo janai kedo is the kind of play here. But that's the kind of idea. I've been a soldier long enough, I know his type.
あの人、とても寂しそうな目をしていました。荒々しいのに、すごく悲しい目。
But all... Why are you just like making this so blunt? Ararashi could be angry, but like troubled, how do I describe this? 寂しそうな目をしてました。荒々しい。Conflicted. Yeah, conflicted is not bad, but the real problem with this line is like how flat the sentence structure is. Like, he looked lonely, but also angry, and yet so sad. Like, that doesn't line up with the vocal delivery in the Japanese at all, because the Japanese line is like, あの人とても寂しそうな目をしてました. 荒々しいのにすごく悲しい目 Like, he looked, he had such a lonely look in his eyes. They were, how would I describe this? Like they were conflicted, but also at the same time very, sad. Or violent and rough, but somehow sad. Violent, but somehow very sad. This, but also angry, and yet so sad. He looked lonely, but also angry, and yet so sad. They left out the whole thing about his eyes, because she's really talking about the look that he had in his eyes. He had such a lonely look in his eyes. Violent and rough, but at the same time so sad, or very sad. Something like that. No, it's not I've got to help him, it's I want to help him. I want to help him.
僕はみんなを幸せにしたくて志願兵になったんです。だからあの人も幸せにしてあげたいんです。
They just kind of missed the point here. Her line in Japanese is driving home her naivete a little bit more than they're willing to do in the English for some reason. She really did say, I joined the army to help make people happy. So I want to make him happy too. That's it. It's very naive. If I don't do something, who will is not there, and make people's lives better. I get the idea of minna o shiwase ni shitakute. To make everyone happy. You could read that as make everyone's lives better. There's an argument to be made there. But I think that unless you have a very compelling reason and context to do that, it's not quite right to make that judgment call, in my opinion. You should stick with what the lines actually say.
それはまた難しいことを考えたものね。さて、どうしたものかしら。
Yo, what? None of this is here. Not a single word of this is correct. Not a single solitary sentence of this line is correct. Not a single bit of it. Maybe the last, yeah, but changing the world? No, it's not there. It's not even an entire sentence change. It's not here. There's none of this is here. それはまた難しいことを考えたものね。さてどうしたものかしら。He speaks in a very feminine way. So it's very, yeah, I busted out the notepad for this. それはまた難しいことを考えたものね。さてどうしたものかしら。It's yeah, no one, I'm afraid. I admire your compassion, not there. Changing the world is easier said than done, not there. And this no one links up to the previous line for no reason. It's, I think you might have your hands full with something like that, or that's quite the idea you've thought up there. Kind of a little bit of sarcasm, 難しいことを考えたものね. I think you might have your hands full with something like that, but how would you even go about doing it, I wonder? It's not even, yeah, it's fan fiction, but they just decided to change it completely. He's really just saying, I think you might have your hands full with that task. And how would you go about doing that in the first place, I wonder? I'm not good at coming up with lines for feminine men. So I'm doing my best here, but I would definitely ask somebody else for help with deciding how Rosette speaks.
それで 早速お伺いしたいのですが。
Yeah, so can I ask you something? They're kind of missing the tone that Nico speaks in. Like, それで早速伺いしても、what is it? 伺いしてもいいですか？伺いしたいものですが。It's like, there's actually something I wanted to ask you.
話によると、ロゼッタさんは入隊以前は神父様をなさっていたとか。
Huh? Whoa, 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 whoa. You have missed the plot. No, it's not in the church. It's not just in the church. He was a priest. Shimpu-sama is like a priest. Like, that's not just in the church. It's like, I heard that before you joined the army, you were a priest, or like you were a reverend, like almost a, I don't know what, like, I don't want to make a claim because I don't actually know what the religious beliefs of the Valkyria Chronicles world are. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say it's like a Catholic analog. So I would leave it as priest, but there, depending on what the actual setup of the church is, it could be like a reverend father too, something like that. But it's not, no, it's not nun because it's Shimpu. Shimpu-sama is explicitly male. There's here, I'll post the kanji for you. Yeah, it's not, I heard you were in the church. I heard you were like a priest.
ロゼッタさんならコドビンさんを諭すこともできるのではないでしょうか。
That's an interesting turn of phrase. I don't know if I would say repent for Satos. Satos. Repent. It's not. It's like. It's more like admonish, or like. I would go with almost like and it's not do you think you could, but it's it's almost like I bet you could. I was thinking that if you talk to him, you might be able to get him to. Yeah, I mean, I can see the argument for repent, or I think you'd be able to admonish him properly, something like that. Yeah, this is definitely where I would want to like talk to the writers to understand the religious beliefs of the Valkyria Chronicles world before I make any decisions.
そう言ってもらえるのは光栄ね。ニコちゃんに頼ってもらえるなんて嬉しいわ。
That's not what he says at all. Thinks so highly of my former vocation. He doesn't mention the former vocation at all. In fact, he could be explicitly ignoring it. Yeah, father is tough. It's a tough call because it might not sound sufficiently religious, right? You would have to go with like church father or something like that. But I think priest works better. But like what he says here is he almost ignores her saying, "Oh, I heard you were a priest," right? そう言ってもらえるのは光栄ね。I'm honored to hear you or like I'm honored to hear you ask that of me. I'm quite happy, or I'm very happy to have you rely on me for this, right? He's almost explicitly kind of not answering, like, I heard you used to be a priest. He doesn't say, I'm honored to hear you think so highly of my former vocation. He doesn't even confirm or deny it, right? So there's a little bit of like, was he really a priest? We don't know. In the Japanese, we can't say one way or the other that if he was or was not a priest. The information is not there. Like, そう言ってもらえるの光栄ね. 光栄 is like, was it eiko? Eiko and 光栄 is one of those ones that you can flip. I have very, very minor dyslexia, so I have problems with things like eiko and 光栄. But it's like, I'm honored to hear you say that. And I'm so happy you would come to rely on me that way, Nico-chan.
でもちょっと私には無理かしら。何しろそれはダルクス人の問題だもの。
Okay, fine. I thought they were gonna leave out the Dark Sujin thing, but he does say it, so it's fine, it's fine. But the phrasing here is really bad. No, it's very, very slight, Scott. Very slight. But if anything, it's helped me because I have to pay more attention. I thought they were gonna leave out the Dark Sujin thing here. ちょっと私には無理かしら. Yeah, the phrasing of this is terrible. Right? It's not a Dark Sujin's trouble might be beyond my help. That's almost makes Rosetta sound racist, which is definitely not what they're going for here. It says, I think it might be a little too much for me to handle. After all, it's his problems are because it's hard to say like Daruksujin no mondai da mono. Daruksujin no mondai da mono. It's hard to say if he's saying this it's because he's a Dark Sujin that he has having problems, or it is a problem that a Dark Sujin person has, right? So I would go with it might be impossible for me, or it might be beyond my help. No, I don't like beyond my help. It'd be a flashback later. Might be too much for me. After all, it's a problem among or for Dark Sujin. His problems are Dark Sujin's problems. But there might be more information like in the next line.
ダルクス人の?
See, this is actually good. It's not that they have a different religion, but it might be that the issues that he's having are so deep-seated. Because in the Valkyria Chronicles world, the Dark Sujin people are discriminated against and were forced into slavery and servitude in various lands and times in Europa based on a misunderstanding of European history that kind of blamed them for a calamity that wasn't actually their fault. Broadly speaking, and this is broadly speaking, they're a Jewish analog. That comes up in Valkyria Chronicles 1 with like the concentration camps and things like that. But it's not like one-to-one, right? I would assume that they do have a different religion, but it's not really expanded on, at least not in 1 and 4 so far. But I don't think that's the implication here. Though it could be that he would not respect. But he's already claimed that he's an atheist, so even if they have a different religious beliefs, it might not even come up. It's a little more complicated than that. This line, however, is actually good. In Japanese, often you repeat a sentence back to somebody or a part of a sentence back to somebody to signify that you don't understand what they're saying. So Rosetta said, "Oh, it's a Dark Sujin problem," and Nico says, "Dark Sujin no?" So instead of having the line be a Dark Sujin problem, changing it to "What do you mean?" is actually correct. That's good. That is more natural. It makes a lot more sense. It flows correctly. So good job.
ニコちゃんも知っているでしょ。この世界の歴史。ダルクス人が過去に何をしたか。
Oh, never mind. Oh, do they not want to make him racist because they we'll have to keep going through this, but the implication here from this line is that he is racist, actually. Surprisingly enough. They don't want him to be, but they've changed. I'm screenshotting this because they've changed it. Just from now, to give like the full benefit of the doubt, right? Just from this line, I can't say one way or the other yet. There might be more context coming up, but this is not correct. Like, ニコちゃんは知ってるでしょ？この世界の歴史。ダルクス人が過去に何をしたか。何をしたか。It's not what they've been through. He said, like, you know about the history of, not Europa, but the world, about, you know world history, don't you? What the Dark Stygian people did. What they did. And yeah, it's not like, at this time period in Valkyria Chronicles, it is pretty well accepted, or at least somewhat common, to believe that they did or were responsible for the calamity. Whether or not one holds, well, I can only think of the Japanese word sabetsu, like discriminatory beliefs about the Dark Stygian people is kind of a different question. But this is not what they've been through, it's what they did. Animosity is a good word, yeah. Let's see.
彼らは常に迫害を受けて生きてきた。国ごとの差はあるけど、境遇はいいものじゃないわ。
Hold on. It's a little more complicated. Wow, my voice just cracked there. It's a little more complicated than making it out to be here. What is this? 迫害を受けて生きてきた。国ごとの差はあるけど、環境はいいものじゃないわ。境遇。Yeah. So this is actually really different than what they're making it out to be. It's actually quite an interesting take on, like, the implications here, right? It's not they've suffered for centuries, no matter where they go, they're labeled as outsiders and treated with prejudice. They're just kind of glossing this and making it like, just standing up for them in general. But really what he's saying here is, like, you know world history, don't you? What they've done. And then to flip side that, it's like another part of the story is, what is it? They've lived with persecution, like, as a normal occurrence in their lives. Is like, persecution for them is normal, or like that's how they've lived their lives, constantly persecuted. There might be slight differences from country to country, but their surroundings are never good, or their how do I describe this? What is it like? The circumstances surrounding their lives are never good. He's not making a judgment one way or the other, but he's kind of explaining, like, the behavior that he's exhibiting could be a result of the persecution that Dark Stygian people have experienced for centuries. He's not, like, just explaining it away. He's saying, yeah, some of them have done really bad things, or in the past, they possibly talking about the calamity. It's not this simple kind of thing. It's like their surroundings are like, their lives are never easy, or their surroundings are never good. And they leave out that, it varies on country a little, but their surroundings are never good.
それはもちろん僕も知っています。でも別にゴドウィンさんが悪いわけじゃ。
Yeah, so you can understand here that the implication, they've definitely got this wrong now. I'm 100% convinced because of Nico's response here. Nico's response is it's not just fault, it's warui wake ja. It's not like でそれは僕も知っています。それはもちろん僕も知っています。でも別にゴドウィンさんが悪いわけじゃ。Right? It's not like he's done anything wrong. Or he's not responsible for that. And this, like, none of that is Godwin's fault or mine. The or mine here is not there. So, it's definitely, Rosetta is pointing out that the history of the Dark Sujin people are complicated. They're persecuted, but that persecution, be it though it's unjustified, has led to, you know, them acting in certain ways that has been negative. And so Nico is saying that might be the case, but that doesn't mean that Godwin has done something wrong, or Godwin is responsible for that, right? So it's a little more complicated than they're making it out to be.
その通りだわ。でも、やっぱりダメなの。
It's not ダメなの. It doesn't change a thing. There's no helping it. It doesn't. You might be right, but that doesn't matter. It's not doesn't change a thing. It's like, but that doesn't matter.
かつて私にもダルクス人の友人がいたわ。神父としての師でもあり、とても心の優しい人よ。
Hold on. She they are. I don't like this inducted. Teacher. 神父としての師であり. He was my teacher, not necessarily inducted into the priesthood by the Dark Sujin. I think that's a little bit of an overreach. かつて私にもダークス人の友達がいたわ。神父としての師でもあり、とても心の優しい人よ。Yeah, he was my friend. Like, I get where you're reading into this, like he's a feminine man, so you're trying to make it out like they were lovers, but that's not necessarily here. Whether that's true or not, you would have to ask the writers, but that's not, just reading the line, that's not implied. He just says he was my friend. And he was a very kind man. I don't like this gentle and loving. He was a kind man. Yasashi shito is kind man. And it's not, you see, he was my ... friend. I had a friend who was a Dark Sujin. No, I have never been good at reading aloud. Never. In English or Japanese, I suck at reading out loud. That's one thing that I'm like actually working on. Because for these streams, you'll notice I stutter and fumble around reading the lines out loud. It's just I suck at reading out loud. Especially with Japanese, it's much easier to read silently because sometimes you can understand a word without actually knowing how to pronounce it, just based on the kanji. かつて私にもダルクス人の友達がいたわ。友人がいたわ。Dan is so much better. Yeah, we're the same way on that. I think I'm better at reading out loud than Dan is, though. But my Japanese is way better than Dan's. Eat it. But that's just because I've lived in Japan for so much longer. Yeah, basically, I read them out loud just to not have dead air, too. I think that it would have been to my benefit to read out loud more, but it's a little bit late for that at this point.
彼はダルクス人差別を撤廃すべく人々に訴えかけ、多くの賛同を得ていたわ。
Interesting. 差別を撤廃すべく。I don't like the use of activist. Dark Citizen rights activist. It's not. I think you're. No, and again, it's not. This is actually underplaying what he did. I have to see if this is an interesting word, but utai kake is like. It's not necessarily. Yeah, appeal, urge. Yeah, utai kakeru. Yeah, ダルクス人差別を撤廃すべく人々に訴えかけ whose many supporters work day and night to fight against bigotry and hatred is just not here. Yes, thank you very much, Scott. Hit the like, share the stream, all that good stuff. So the actual line here is more like fighting is not bad, but it's more like he rallied support. Yeah, I would definitely go with like rallied support. This is like 人々に訴えかける is to like 訴えかける is to like urge. He rallied support for ending Daruksujin discrimination. And it's almost in a legal sense. It's not just like fighting against, you know, bigotry and hatred, but it's like there's a very real legal aspect to this. He's like making appeals, like Daruksujin, and this word here, let me post it. Teppai is to like abolish, but it's like annul, repeal, abolish. So it's not as simple as like, you know, fighting against bigotry and hatred in some sort of like nebulous sense, but he was fighting to abolish, like he was fighting to abolish Daruksujin discrimination, and actually ended up gaining a lot of support.
でも彼の願いは決して届くことはなかった。反対派の教団に撃たれ、この世を去ったのよ。
Okay, I feel like you're being a little obnoxious now. I feel like you're really being obnoxious now. I can see the little seeds. Like, you don't have to do this, right? Like, he was shot and killed by extremists during a peaceful protest. Like, the analog is already here. They're already talking about he was a Daruksujin, discrimination abolitionist. Like, the lines are already here. You don't have to add all this extra stuff. It doesn't actually add to the story. It actually detracts and makes you sound like very obviously political when they're already telling a good story about like ending discrimination. So the actual line here is でも彼の願いは決して届くことはなかった. I don't like his dream, but I would almost go with the world, or his wishes never came to fruition. Dreams never came true is a little too whimsical. And it's not shot and killed, it's he passed away. Like yo satta. Kono yo satta is like that kono yo saru is a very religious turn of phrase, like to leave this world. It's something that a priest would say, and they're leaving out that part. この世を去る, like この世を去った. It's like he passed away. He passed from this world. But it's 反対派の what is this? How do you describe this turn of phrase? 教団, yeah, assassin. He was assassinated. And they don't mention anything about a protest or shot and killed by extremists. He was assassinated by a opposing faction. Like he was shot by an opposing faction, or by I don't know how you describe it. By, you could even say like an anti-Dark faction. Like that would be fine. And left this world. Right? But it's like emblematic of the issues here. He was shot and killed by extremists during a peaceful protest. You're not actually helping your cause. Like, to play absolute devil's advocate here for this kind of thinking, right? You're like, ooh, this is something like, bigotry, hatred, protests. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. I want that. I love this. I really want to make sure that this lands. You are doing a disservice by making it like this. Right? By trying to reframe it with modern language, you are literally drawing parallels to things that in the modern era people don't like. But in the past, holy shit, I'm for Rosette and this other priest, right? He's trying to end unjust discrimination against a group of people who did nothing wrong. Like, holy shit, yes, that's a good story. Like, it's already a good story. You don't have the right to try and, like, draw analogs to modern times with it. Like, you are undermining it by trying to draw parallels. Absolutely undermining it. Right? There's no reason to do this. Yeah, it's like this, like, mostly peaceful, like, even calling it during a peaceful protest. All you are doing by saying a peaceful protest is making people think, well, maybe it wasn't so peaceful. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were actually terrorists. You know, right? Like, that's the only thing that you're going to do. And that's obviously not the case. Like, this is a sad fucking story of a man who lost a friend who was fighting to overturn actual, like, discrimination and hatred. That he was actually doing a good thing, and now you're trying to tie it to your modern causes, which don't line up.
そんなことが
It's not that's horrible. I can't believe it.
それほどにダルクス人とは辛い立場なのよ。
That's life. No, it's not. That's life. What are you talking about? What do you mean that's life? What do you mean that's life? Yeah, you kind of left a little bit out there. It's like, I can't believe it. No, that's just how bad it is for Dark Sijin. Like, that's it. I can't believe that. No, that's just how bad it is for Dark Sijin out there.
ゴドウィンにとってもそれは同じ。彼は故郷を戦火で失った難民なのよ。
難民なのよ。Yeah. 戦火を失った難民なのよ。難民。I mean, 難民 is refugee. Displaced, yeah. So, 彼は故郷を戦火で失った。War torn. I feel like you're just making it a little too. It's no. I would say it's no different for Godwin. His home village or his hometown was destroyed in the war, and now he's a refugee. He's a refugee after the war destroyed his hometown. Like, I don't like this, the war tore him from his home and family. It's a little, he's speaking a little more matter-of-factly, right? Like, it's no different for Godwin. He's a refugee now that the war has torn him to, I get flashbang by their phrase, but he's a refugee now that the war has destroyed his hometown. Or even just home, like.
ダルクス人の彼を受け入れる町はどこにもなく、結局彼は一人で生きるしかなかったの。
Yeah, like, why are you making this so flowery? Everywhere he went, he was met with cold hearts and closed doors. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying it doesn't matter what town he went to. Let me see. ダルクス人の彼を受け入れる町はどこにもなく、結局彼は一人で生きるしかなかったの。The only person he could rely on is himself is fine, but this is like there wasn't a town anywhere who would take in a Daruksujin like him. That's what he's saying. This like cold hearts and closed doors is it's just kind of cringy. It's not how he's talking. In the end, he had to rely on himself to survive.
だからゴドウィンさんはあんな生き方をしているのですか？
What do you mean loots bodies? We didn't forget. This was like 5 minutes ago. If you were playing the game at regular speed and not spending time on every single line, this was 5 minutes ago. We didn't forget. This is anna ikikata o shiteru. Like, she doesn't want to say loot bodies. Like that's the point. So that's why he lives the way he does. So that's why he does that, or that's what, yeah, like だからあんな、だからゴッドウィンさんはあんな生き方をしてるのですか。So that's why he lives the way he does. Or that's why he does what he does. There's no, so that's why he loots bodies. He's only trying to survive. あんな生き方. This is a good one to. だから I'm going to save this in the notepad as well. And take a screenshot. Editing these later with all this downtime is a pain, but I will persevere. No. Got it. I can't believe this. It's so bad. It's so not good. It's just...
彼にとっては当てつけなのかもしれないわね。ダルクス人に生まれた自分を自ら貶めているのよ。
Huh? Hold on, I got flashbang. 当てつけ? This is an interesting turn of phrase, but definitely not what they're saying. 当てつけ? Yeah, he's doing it out of... Yeah, this is really awkward and blunt and not right. Got so tired of people stereotyping him and his race, he's given up on proving them wrong. The sentiment is somewhat here, but this isn't the way it's phrased, and it's not a good representation. There's an element of self-hatred. Like, he resents the fact that he was born as a Daruksujin, right? Yeah, no, they're definitely updating this for like a modern spin when the actual like heart of this issue is something that is timeless, right? To resent the circumstances of your birth, right? To resent being born in a particular place, in a particular, culture, or as a particular race. because of the treatment that you receive from other people is a story or a concept that resonates regardless of the time period. People can understand that. So that, but when you add all of these extra little words, right, like people stereotyping him and his race, all you're doing is just making the context more difficult to understand because it doesn't actually follow. Let's see. いや、彼にとっては当てつけなものかもしれないわね。ダルク筋に生まれた自分を自ら貶める。自分を自ら貶めているのよ。It's he could be, or he could be doing it out of spite as well. You know that he hates himself. Like he hates himself for being born as a Darksujin, or like he resents that he was born as a Darksujin. Like that's what he's saying. Right? Like that kind of, like, if we're trying to humanize or like give understanding of why he acts the way he does, like that's a really sad kind of concept. This, like, oh, he's given up on proving them wrong, makes it sound like it doesn't explain why he's doing it, right? If he's given up on proving them wrong, then he would not necessarily, you know, go out and do things that make people dislike him even more. He might just not care what people think anymore. But this is more like he's doing it out of spite at this point. Right? Because he regrets being born as a Darksujin. It's all just so sad. It's too sad. It's too, almost like too horrible. Too sad. There's no dots here. Yo, how's the pain on a 1 to 10? We're sitting at like an 8.5 right about now. See you later, Jay. Yeah, is there nothing we can do to help him?
少なくとも私にそんな力はないわ。これは私にとっても辛い現実なの。
It's sad but true. Oh, fucking God. They added so much here. Discrimination is a bigger problem than any one person can solve. It's sad but true. Can you... I'm requesting... Please, get off the soapbox for a minute. You are ruining a good story that actually is saying something about discrimination that is kind of nuanced and interesting and, you know, might actually help people to understand that discrimination is bad. But you are standing on your soapbox like a squawking moron and making it about you. Right? 少なくとも私にそんな力ないわ。There's nothing I can do. Or there's nothing in my power to do. これは私にとっても辛い現実なの。This is, for me, this is just the way the world is. You know, like, 辛い現実. It's like, this is just how cruel reality can be. Like, this whole discrimination is a bigger problem than any one person can solve. It's sad but true. Doesn't speak to the pain in his voice, right? 辛い現実なの. There's nothing I can do. Like, he's given up. Rosetta has given up on trying. It's not within my power to change. For me, this is just what cruel reality is like.
そうですか。
I guess so. Oh, I see. Or is that so? そうですか. Oh, I see. Not I guess so.
そんな悲しい顔をしないで、ニコちゃん。自分の優しさで自分を傷つけてはいけないわ。
Your compassion is a virtue, but getting down in the dumps won't help anyone. No. Also not correct. So don't look like that. Or chin up isn't terrible. Like sonna kanashii kao shinai de ne is like, don't make a face like that, or don't look so sad. But this 自分の優しさで自分を傷つけてはいけないわ is you can't. It's actually articulating a very interesting thing here, which is like he's almost suggesting that she stop being so nice, or like don't allow your own kindness to hurt you. Like don't allow your compassion for others to hurt yourself, is what he's saying. So like it's almost like don't care too much, you'll only hurt yourself, is closer to the implication here. Like 自分の優しさで自分を傷つけてはいけないわ. Right? So you can't allow your compassion to become a burden on yourself, is what I would go with. And I'm curious as to what Nika will say in response, because getting down in the dumps won't help anyone is not what Rosette said.
でもやっぱり僕は放っておけないです。ゴドウィンさんは救われなきゃいけない人です。
Yeah, so do you see how this doesn't actually line up? Neither will doing nothing. That doesn't actually make any sense. What she said is, even if that's the case, I'm not giving up. I can't just leave him alone. I have to save him. でもやっぱり僕は放ってはいけないです。Even so, I can't leave him alone. He's someone I have to save. Yeah, like the English is literally just him scolding her for being sad over a sad thing that he told her, which doesn't make any sense.
どうすればあの人が救われるかは分かりませんが、僕はもう少し頑張ってみたいと思います。
I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know there has to be something I can do to help him. No, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll just keep trying. Like, I don't know how I can do it, but I'm going to keep trying.
そう。だったら私が止める理由はないわ。
But I can't stop you from trying. No, it's is that so? Well, I guess I have no reason to stop you then.
でも辛くなったら無理せず諦めてもいいからね。誰もあなたを責めたりしないわ。
Why? You're leaving out, like, Rosetta is looking out for Nico. It's not if he doesn't want your help, there's no shame in calling it quits. It's if it gets too hard on you, or if it becomes too painful for you, don't be afraid to quit. No one will blame you for that. 無理せず諦めてもいいからね。誰もあなたを責めたりしないわ。No one will blame you. It's like if it gets too hard, or if the pain becomes too much, don't be afraid to give up. It's okay to stop, or it's okay to quit. No one would blame you for it.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Yeah, I understand. Thank you. Christ, these squad stories are always so terrible. I don't know why they're like this. Also, what up, everybody? I saw we got some more people in. Be sure to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the video, forfeit all material possessions to the video. Yeah, emotions are for the weak. But it's not even that, it's just like we don't understand human emotions or like nuanced dialogue at all. Also, what up, Conquered Dragon Brandon? And Torch C.
ゴドウィンさん、何かお困りではありませんか？
I don't like, oh, Godwin. God, this is more like Godwin. Godwin, is there anything I can help you with? Or are you, okomarikoto is, yeah, anything I can help you with is fine.
なんだよ。この間のジョーちゃんか。
What the fuck? No one has once dropped an F-bomb in this game. This is not the time to do it, and it doesn't actually make sense. Oh, it's just you, the girl from before. Yeah, it's like, it's a bit rude and definitely not what he's saying. Yeah, he doesn't do that. It's like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, it's you again.
僕いろいろ考えてみたのですが、何かあなたのお手伝いをできないかと思いまして。
Anything I can do, just say it and it's yours. No, I thought it over, and I thought it's like I thought it over and decided there has to be some way I can help you. 何かあなたのお手伝いをできないかと思いまして。I thought there had to be something I could do to help you. This second line, just anything I could do, just say it and it's yours, is not there.
ガキに面倒を見てもらうほど落ちぶれちゃいねえ。うっとうしいから話しかけんな。
Don't want it, don't need it. Least of all from a damn kid. So quit bugging me and buzz off. So we're going to say that this guy would drop an F-bomb, but now he's saying buzz off. Tone actually does matter for characterization. So if you're going to say that he would drop an F-bomb, he should say fuck off, not buzz off. But that's not even what he's saying here anyway. So, where are we? 楽器に面倒見てもらうほど落ちぶれちゃいね。Like it's like I'm not so. He's got a little bit of pride here, and they're kind of hiding that in the English. It's like, I'm not so helpless that I need help from a damn kid. It's like, you're annoying, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's completely inconsistent. It's like, I'm not so helpless I need help from a damn kid. It's like, you're annoying, don't talk to me, leave me alone. うっとうしいから話しかけんな。Like, don't talk to me. Leave me alone.
待ってください、ゴドウィンさん。
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's an ESRB thing, but if you are constrained by the ESRB, then you should at least try to make the dialogue consistent, right? Like, I get that you can't drop F-bombs and maintain, like, a teen rating, for sure. Oh, yeah, Alan, it's... I don't know if you've just joined or if you've been watching, but basically, the squad story in Japanese is quite good. It's kind of an interesting take on, like, discrimination and people acting out based on, you know, like, accepting accepting the discrimination that they've been subject to and acting out of spite while kind of, like, hating the fact that they were born the way they are. It's an interesting take. It's not, like, preaching at all. It's not saying, like, he's right to do that, and it's not saying that they were right to discriminate against him. I think you get one F-bomb. Same as movies, but I could be wrong.
ゴドウィンさん、どこですか？もう、どこ行っちゃったんだろう。
I lost him. Where did he go?
何なんだよ一体。俺に何の恨みがあるってんだ？
It's not some kind of sick joke. Wow, I can't speak. It's not some kind of sick joke. It's she got something against me. Like, what's her problem? Urami is like, what, does she have something against me? Yeah. Honestly, I've said it before, but like, if you're gonna play these games, and I recommend it, I really do like the gameplay and the story. Just play with the Japanese dialogue, listen to the vocal delivery, and then imagine that it's like 40% to 50% more serious.
恨みじゃなくて 慈悲の心でしょ。
Yeah.
あの子はあなたを元気づけたいだけよ。
This line doesn't follow, right? This it's called compassion, links up with what, does she have something against me? Urami. And so then he says urami janakute. Not, doesn't have something against you. It's called compassion. Like, it's called compassion is actually good. If he said, right? If he said, man, like, what's her problem? Does she have something against you? And then Rosetta would say, yeah, it's called compassion. Boom. That works. That totally plays correctly in English. That's the exact kind of line that you want to go with. Urami janakute, I can't ever pronounce this right. Jihi no kokoro desho. Like, that works. Why they left out why does she have something against me I have no idea. It would be so easy. And this, maybe you should try it sometime, doesn't make sense. It's not there. あの子はあなたを元気つけたいだけだよ. She just wants you to feel better, or she just wants you to be happy. She's just trying to make you feel better.
てめえの差し金か。
Yeah, this is fine. You got one. They got one. Hey everybody. Hey everybody, they got one. They did it. I need like fanfare. They got one.
私は何もしていないわ。
Let's
あの
go.
子がそれを望んでいるだけ。
Yippee. Yeah, I haven't done a thing. Victory music when they get it right. I'd never use it. I don't necessarily go for like, this is all Nico's idea, because they've flipped the lines here. I haven't done anything. This is all something she wanted to do.
あー、いたいた。聞いてください、ゴドウィンさん。
Guess what? I'll have to listen to the next line to decide if guess what is good here, but I don't know. It's 聞いてください is more like listen to this.
先ほどクロードさんからお聞きしたのですが、近々偵察任務を行う予定があるようでして。
I don't like this going on a recon mission soon, but Nico is cute. Also, she uses Boku, which is cute. We stand Boku girls in this stream. 聞いてください。先ほどクロードさんが、クロードさんからお聞きしたのですが、近々偵察任務を行う予定があるようでして。No, Boku is not necessarily a man way. It's just I mean, there's like a whole discussion to be had for like personal pronoun usage in Japanese, like using watashi versus watakushi versus ore versus boku. It's more complicated than that. It's not a man. When a girl uses boku, it's not necessarily a man thing. It's kind of like it's a little cutesy, but it's like more energetic than watashi. It kind of gives like a bright feeling, kind of like overly energetic. That's the kind of sense that you get from it. And it's not just you're told me you're going on a recon mission soon. It's more like I heard from Claude that they're planning on having a recon sortie in the future, something like that. It's more militaristic, not going on a recon mission soon.
その際は僕がゴドウィンさんをサポートします。二人で協力すればどんな任務もへっちゃらですね。
So and I'll be going with you as support as well. If we work together, the mission should be a piece of cake. Hechara. Hechara is like super easy, but piece of cake is a good turn of phrase here. Like I'm sure if we work together, the mission will be a breeze or a piece of cake.
いい加減にしろ。もううんざりだ。
I would go with like just leave me alone, or yeah, I've had enough, or like that's enough. I'm sick of it. It's not just I've had it up to here with you. Unzari. It's like I'm sick of you. Yeah, it's more about expression than feminine masculine. Certainly boku is more masculine than watashi, but when a girl uses boku, it's not the same as a guy using boku. It's like I personally never use boku for myself. I use ore, which is manly. Women almost never use ore, and when they do, it's based. But when girls use boku, it's kind of like bright. I can't remember if Chia uses boku. I think she does sometimes. It's just kind of bright.
What?
てめえは俺を野良犬か何かと勘違いしてんのか？他人に世話されなきゃ生きられないとでも？
This ignorant savage here is not present. What do I look like, a stray dog? Is correct. Like, am I some kind of stray dog to you? Like I can't survive without your help? Like without someone else's help? It's like teme wa ore o yoroi. What is it? Nora inu kanani. Do I look like some kind of stray dog or something to you? Like I can't live without somebody's help? It's not survive without your pity, but it's like I can't live without someone else's help.
そんなつもりは。
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's not what I...
てめえにダルクス人の気持ちが分かってたまるか？とっとと失せろ。さもなけりゃ殺すぞ。
What? You don't give a shit about me, you just want to feel good about... They left out a really good line here. Like a bunch of good lines. It's like, he said like you could understand what it's like to be a darksujin. Like, てめえにダルクス人の気持ちが分かってたまるか? Like, you could understand what it's like to be a darksujin. Like, get out of here. If you don't, I'll kill you. He literally says, さもなきゃ殺すぞ。とっととwhat is this? 消えろ? キセロ? しろ? 下げろ? うせろ. Yeah, うせろ. Yeah, 殺すぞ。さもなきゃ殺すぞ. Like you could understand, like it's like you could understand how a dark Sijin feels, or like he's swearing like Time. Like you could fucking understand what it's like to be a dark Sijin. Like, get the fuck out of here. If you don't, I'll kill you. Or like, it's not even like if you don't, I'll kill you. It's like get the fuck out of here before I kill you. Yeah, no, it's nothing like feel good about yourself. Yeah, this is why I hate kids. Yes and no. In this sense, like, they are both in the army, so you can't really say that like she is literally a child. But Gakki, in this sense, is like, Gakki is more like damn kids, or like, it's more of like a sentiment than an actual calling her a child. It's not bad. This is a little difficult to deal with.
ガキはどっちよ?
Yeah, see?
ニコちゃんに当たってどうするの?
Yeah. Like who's the real kid here? Yeah, it's kind of like calling someone a brat. It's a little similar, but Japanese doesn't use it quite the same way. Like, you can say like gaki no koro is like when I was a kid. It's not like when I was a brat. Yeah, like what's the point of blowing up on her like that? Blowing up on her is not bad. Niko-chan ni atatte dou suru no? Like, what's the point of blowing up on her like that?
あなたは自分がこの世のすべての不幸を背負っているとでも思っているのかしら?
Oh, this is not right either. It's actually a really interesting turn of phrase. It's not like, or do you really think you're the only one in this world who's ever had it rough? Or do you mean to say that you're, how do I describe this? この世のすべてを不幸を背負っている. It's like, or do you presume to be carrying all the misfortune in the world yourself? It's not just like only had it rough, or do you just assume that like you're the only one in the world with misfortune? I get where they're coming from with like only one in this world who's ever had it rough, but the turn of phrase here is so interesting. There's got to be a better way to say it than who's ever had it rough. It's like seiyotteru is to like carry something on your back, to like bear a burden. And it's like kono yo no fukou. Fukou is like misfortune or like unhappiness. So the real thing that he's saying here is like, do you really think you're the only one carrying the burdens of misfortune in the world? Something like that. You know what I mean? It's a little more flowery than just you're the only one in the world who's ever had it rough. It's a more interesting phrase. I've said this before, but for anybody who's new, like, the point of these streams is not necessarily to provide a perfect like replacement line for each line that we get into, because some of these you would really want to workshop with a team or talk to the writers to like better understand the character, things like that, to workshop. Like if you were making a like a patch, like an English patch or a retranslation of the game, my workflow would be completely different than just going through and listening and giving lines. The point of what we're doing here is just pointing out the inaccuracies and trying when possible to give like a better reading. So, you know, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And I'm sure I've made mistakes before in previous streams.
俺は自分の生き方を貫いているだけだ。てめえらに文句を言われる筋合いはね。
Yeah. I don't know where you get off. It's like you've got no right. This is more like you've got no right telling me how to live my life.
呆れたものいいね。
You're hopeless. I don't know about that. 呆れたものいいね. This is an interesting turn of phrase as well. Akireta mono ii ne. Mono ii. It's not like you're hopeless. It's more like sounds like you've already given up.
でもそれより今はニコちゃんが心配ね。落ち込んでいなければいいけど。
What? Huh? Nico's got a lot to learn, but at least she's trying more than I can say for you. I hope she's okay. What? But this is more like, but forget about you. I'm worried about Nico-chan. As I hope she's not too depressed, or I hope she's okay is fine, but this like, Nico's got a lot to learn, but at least she's trying is not here. Yeah. It's not that they're in the right. It's more complicated than that. It's like Rosetta understands Godwin's position. He's not really trying to say it's right or wrong. He just understands the way he is. But they keep having Rosette like insult him for some reason. I don't get it. Because more than anyone, Rosette would have sympathy for him and his position, having lost someone to like discriminatory violence, right? So this like Nico's got a lot to learn, but at least she's trying more than I can say for you is like needlessly insulting. He's not making a claim like that. It's more like, it sounds like you've given up, but I'm more worried about Nico-chan right now. I hope she's okay. Yeah, it's just like needlessly insulting to him. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
あんなことがあった直後にまた死体あさりとは、あなたどういう神経をしているのかしら。
Yeah, like I can't say I'm surprised, but I am disappointed. また死体あさりとはどういう神経? It's どういう神経? Like, I don't know why they keep adding like these little quips from Rosette. Like, this is literally just more like you've got some nerve. Like, after all that, you're right back to corpse robbing. There's probably a better turn of phrase, like, I don't know, like looting the battlefield, corpse robbing. Shitai asari is correct, but like you've got some nerve coming back here to rob corpses after all of that. It's not like this, like, can't say I'm surprised, but I am disappointed. It's like if anything, they're pointlessly stereotyping Rosetta as like a sassy gay guy. I mean, I don't know if he actually is gay. I think he might have like something that's like likes men in his in like his skills section or the like I don't know, it's like when you have them in a squad with men, he gets like a bonus or something. So he might be gay, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't particularly care if he is or not. But if he is gay, and if he's meant to be gay, writing him like this is super insulting. Like, just, oh, he's gay, so he must be sassy. He's not. He's not a Jan. I don't remember. But they seem to be implying that because he is somewhat feminine presenting, that he must be gay. And they're writing him super, like, flamboyant and sassy, which is like a stereotype. Which seems like you're kind of, you know, it's not very progressive of you.
てめえにとやかく言われる筋合いはねえ。それとも今度はてめえが俺に付きまとう気か?
Yeah, this is ignorant. He's not saying this. I think he's meant to be trans. I don't think so. They haven't given a single implication of that. I don't, at least not yet. I don't think so. That hasn't been my read of the character. He hasn't made any explicit mention of being of that at all. He's just very feminine. Like the way he speaks is quite feminine. You know, he uses like kashira and wa as an ending. He does speak in a feminine manner, but there hasn't been any mention of being trans. If anything, the read that I get from the Japanese is that he's gay. But I also don't know, so I'm not making a claim one way or the other. いや、てめえにとにかく言われる筋合いはね。それとも今度てめえが俺に付きまとう気か? Yeah, this is like, oh, is it your turn to save the ignorant savage from himself? It's like not correct. It's like, you've got no right. You in particular. Like, he's making kind of a point here. Like, you in particular. You got no right to talk to me like that. I don't want to hear that from you. Or is it your turn to like follow me around now?
ニコちゃんがいなくなっちゃったのよ。だいぶショックを受けていたみたいだからね。
He doesn't actually say, I'm looking for Nico. I can't find her anywhere. I'm starting to get worried. He says, Nico-chan has gone missing. It seems she like took quite a shock, or was quite shocked, or was quite affected. Like, daibu shock. This is a katakana thing. Like, just because the word is shoku in katakana doesn't necessarily mean that it transliterates exactly to the English shock, right? This is more like an emotional blow. So, Niko-chan ga inaku nachchatta no yo. So, Niko-chan's gone missing. It seems like she was quite disturbed or quite depressed even.
そうか。ま、静かになってせいせいするぜ。
Ah, did you hear that? Did you hear the slight? Did you hear like the slight bit of worry in his voice in the Japanese vocal delivery there? Like that was really good. The soka. Like there was a little bit there, but this oh yeah in the English doesn't sell it at all. そうかまあ静かになってせいぜいするぜ It's like oh that's so well I guess it's you know I'm glad it's nice and quiet now
あなたニコちゃんを勘違いしているわ
You've got this is more like you've got Nico-chan all wrong Yeah there was like a little bit of hesitation there They really needed that
あなたはニコちゃんを恵まれた子だと思っているみたいだけどあの子は孤児だったのよ
Or why did you add this without a penny to her name? That's not true. This is like you seem to think she was. It's not even perfect life, but it's like 恵まれた子だと思ってる. Like you seem to think she was, you know, she was like I don't know, like a rich kid or even just like blessed with a nice upbringing, or like I don't know how you say 恵まれた. 恵まれた is like to be blessed. Or to be, or she's always had it easy. I think I would go with like always had it easy. You seem to think she was, I don't know. There's not really a mention of born. 恵まれた子. I would go with always had it easy. You seem to think she's always had an easy life, but the truth is she was an orphan. Yeah. So there's a shock.
貧しい家に生まれたあの子は生まれてすぐに教会に預けられたの。
貧しい、yeah. 教会に預かれたの。I don't convent. I don't know why they went with convent here instead of just church. And she was born to a poor family. And she was born to such a family that they use born here twice. Like 貧しい家に生まれたあの子は生まれてすぐ. It's like kind of doubles up on the born, so it's a little awkward even in Japanese, the writing here. So you kind of want to use it twice, even though it reads a little awkwardly. She was born to a poor family, and right after, to such a poor family that right after she was born, they left her at the church, or they had the church take her in.
でも、あの子はそんな自分の境遇に決して落ち込まなかったわ。
Like, why do they keep having these barbs at him? Rosetta is not insulting him. He does not say, unlike some people. Like, I don't get this. There's no point for him to be constantly, like, poking at Godwin. He just does not do that. Yeah, and he uses the same word here. 境遇. 自分の境遇に決して落ち込めなかった. But she never resented. Like, this actually ties back up to what Rosette said before about how he hates the life that he was born into. And so Rosette is saying, but she never hated the life that she was born into, but she never resented the life she was born to, or the circumstances of her birth, right? It's like drawing, like, they are so stupid that they assume that the fact that he's drawing this equivalence, number one, Godwin was not present for that conversation when Rosette talked about the circumstances about him hating the circumstances of his birth, right? So Godwin was not present for that conversation. So he is not going to be aware of this parallel being drawn. We, as the readers or as the listeners, will be. But, so this, unlike some people, it is not there. That's something that we're supposed to understand. Like, we're supposed to be able to easily draw that conclusion or that connection because we're not stupid. It's a very obvious connection, right? But she never resented. She never resented the circumstances of her birth. She never resented where she grew up or how she grew up, something like that.
希望を持って生きれば必ず幸せになれる。苦しいからこそあの子は生の喜びを理解している。
Huh? If you never stop believing, this is just, I don't know what you did here. Hold on, I got flashbanged again. I need like a flashbang. It would ruin the stream, but I really need like a ping when these lines flashbang me when they're just so wrong. I'm saving this one too. Goes into the hall of shit. Again. 生の喜び、苦しめだからこそ。希望を持つ生きれば必ず幸せになる。苦しいからこそあの子は生まれの生の喜びを理解している。Interesting. Should get a soundboard for that. Yeah. It's enjoys life because she knows how hard it could be. 希望を持って生きれば必ず幸せになる。This is like, as long as you live with hope, you can become happy, or you can, I don't know, 幸せになる. You can, as long as you live with hope, you can happy. I would go with like happiness is possible. 幸せになる. Not possible, but you will be happy. As long as you live your life holding on to hope, you will be happy. This is like, it's precisely because she has suffered so much that she understands what true happiness is. And it's not contentment. I don't know if with contentment. But it's like, it's because she's suffered so much that she understands what true happiness is. It's this like, 生の喜び. Or wait, this might not be, hold on, I think this kanji is different. It's not true happiness, it might be like, 生, live, natural, real. Huh. It's not the say that I was thinking of. Yeah, happiness, it's not actually, it's not even is possible, it's 幸せになる, になれる. 幸せになれる. Oh, it is actually なれる. Yeah, never mind. I read it as 幸せになる, but it is 幸せになれる. You can become, happiness is possible. That's not bad. Yeah, 希望を持って生きれば必ず幸せになれる. You can, as long as you live with hope, happiness is possible. It's precisely because she suffered so much that she understands what true joy can be.
必死であなたを救おうとしたのはそのことを伝えたいからだと思うわ。
It's not share some of that faith with you. It's 必死であなたを救おうとしたのはそこを伝えたいからだと思う。All she wanted to do was explain why she wanted to save you so much.
バカバカしい。俺は俺だ。ジョーちゃんのように能天気には生きられねえよ。
What a load of bull. We can't all be a happy... That line doesn't even make sense. Like, this line in English doesn't even make sense. What the hell do you mean? We can't all be a happy little nun. Like, that's not even... Is that even grammatically correct? Shouldn't it be we can't all be happy little nuns? Because you're... we is plural. So we can't, like... What are we, nuns? Like... That sounds like multiple people being a single nun. Right? I don't think that's grammatically correct. I gotta look out for number one. Yeah, no. Bakabakashi. It's like that. Yeah, what a load of bull is not bad for bakabakashi. It's like, that's ridiculous, or don't give me that shit. I'm me. That's true. It could be grammatically incorrect because he's trying to sound rougher, but I don't think somebody would say that, and he didn't say that because it's not in the lines. But what is it? No tenki. No tenki is an interesting turn of phrase. It's like carefree, easygoing, something like that. Bakabakashi. Ore wa ore da. I'm me. It's like ore wa ore da is like I'm me. It's like you don't understand me. Jo-san no you ni no tenki ni ikirare ne yo. We can't all be as carefree as her. You can't all live without a care in the world like she does. Like, don't be ridiculous. Like, I know... I would actually go with, like, ore wa ore da is I know who I am. Yeah, I would definitely go with I know who I am. Don't be ridiculous. I know who I am. We can't all live a carefree life like her.
所詮俺みたいな男は死体あさりがお似合いなんだ。幸福なんざ望むだけ無駄ってものだぜ。
Huh? What? What the what? Huh? This... Oh, I think I'm gonna change the worst line because this doesn't make any... But this line isn't even... sorry, I have to actually explain. I got locked in again because I have to actually explain. He doesn't say anything like this. Like, not even close. He doesn't say, I'm gonna be a rotting corpse. Huh? He says, Shosen. It's like, in the end. In the end, for, like, corpse robbing is... This is almost like, in the end, corpse robbing is all I'm good for, or it suits me, right? He's like insulting himself, bringing himself down. Like, ore mitai na otoko wa shitai asari ga oniai nanda. Oniai nanda. It's like it fits me, right? In the end, you could almost go with like, in the end, corpse robbing is all a guy like me is good for. Koufuku nanza. 望むだけ無駄ってものさってものぜ It's not さ it's ぜ幸福なんざ Like, this is just like, for a guy like me, even wishing for hope is pointless. Or even wishing for happiness is pointless. Like, it's not even worth hoping for happiness. Like the line here is way more depressing. It's like, in the end, corpse robbing, for a guy like me, corpse robbing is a good fit or suits me. I don't know how I would rephrase this. Like, in the end, I would actually go with robbing corpses is all a guy like me is good for, right? In the end, robbing corpses... I'm going to change this line here. Because I do think this one is really, really bad, actually. good for. In the end, robbing corpses is all a guy like me is good for. Yeah, it's really like happiness isn't something I can hope for. Yeah, happiness ain't even something I can hope for. I gotta split that a little bit so it fits. Is that still legible? Can you guys still read that? But yeah, it's like, in the end, robbing corpses is all a guy like me is good for. Happiness ain't even something I can hope for. I'm using for twice and I don't like that. Happiness. Can't even hope for happiness. Yeah. I feel like repeating the guy like me is okay here. Yeah, something like that. Can't even hope for happiness. Guy like me can't even hope for happiness. Check that mobile real quick, still readable. Thank you. But this, like, I don't even know where they got this. They just like decided randomly to be flowery. All I'm gonna be is another rotting corpse, nothing but carrion for scavengers like me to pick at. It's a little fatalistic. It's not what he's saying.
お、この指輪は悪くない。見た目は地味だが、高く売れる気がするな。
Yeah. I don't know if it's like kind of boring to look at. It's a little plain, but somebody'll definitely pay for it.
本当にどうしようもないほどのひねくれ者ね。
Can't even be honest with yourself. ひねくれ。どうしようもないひねくれ。もうね。ひねくれ。It's not honest with yourself. It's how bitter can you be? Like it's like honestly, how bitter can you? I would almost go with like how bitter can you pretend to be, or how bitter can you be?
見つけた。探しましたよ、ゴドウィンさん。ここにいたのですね。
Yeah, it's fine.
ニコちゃん、どうしたの？泥だらけじゃない。
Yeah, like it snowballs out of control. They decided that Rosette should be like really hostile towards Godwin for some reason, but he just isn't. Covered in mud, what happened? Yeah.
ゴドウィンさんを探すのに手間取っちゃいまして、この辺りの戦場跡を手当たり次第回っていました。
手当たり次第で回っていました。Yeah, that's fine.
驚いたわね。落ち込んでいるどころか元気すぎるぐらいね。
Huh? After trudging through the muck all day, I'm surprised you're still so chipper. No. This is, you surprised me. I forget about being depressed. You seem almost too happy or too energetic. I thought you'd be depressed, but here you are. Yeah, here you are. More energetic than ever.
僕はまだゴドウィンさんを幸せにしてません。落ち込んでいる暇なんてないです。
Yeah, I still haven't been able to make Godwin happy. There's no time for being depressed.
それよりゴドウィンさん、先ほどの偵察任務のお話ですが、正式に出撃命令が出ましたよ。
Yeah, this like 正式に出撃命令が出ましたよ. It's like it's time to suit up is not really right. It's we got our official orders to prepare for the mission. 出撃命令 is like we got official orders to move out.
もちろん僕もお手伝いします。背中は任せてください。
Yeah, that's fine.
チバカもここまで来ると呆れちまうぜ。もはや何を言っても無駄ってわけか。
Why do you think you are funny? Why do you think you are a writer? You are not a writer. You are not funny. You are not good at your job. You are bad at your job. No one talks like this. No one has ever said this. In fact, I'm gonna prove it. Give me puppy dog eyes. Period. Searching Google. Exact phrase. Nope. Never been used in any other context except for this. A wall doesn't give me puppy dog eyes. No one has ever said that before. This is the only time. Congratulations, you've written something horrible. I've lost my place. Hold on. バカもここまで来ると It's like I didn't think you could be this stupid, or like I didn't think you'd go this far. It's like nothing I say even matters anymore. That's it. That's the whole thing. I didn't think someone could be this stupid. It seems like it doesn't matter what I say anymore.
わかったよ。今回だけは付き合ってやる。
It's not, but just this once. It's fine. I'll let you tag along just this one time. It's not 2 sentences. Yeah, it's weird to mention puppy dog eyes. Like it's not a thing. It's not even there. Like that whole beating my head against the wall puppy dog eye. Like the puppy dog eyes thing is not in the script at all, anywhere, at all.
本当ですか？ありがとうございます、ゴドウィンさん。
断り続ける方がよほど面倒そうだと思っただけだ。別にてめえに乗せられたわけじゃねえ。
Yeah. Yeah, it beats trying to get you to leave me alone anyway. It's less of a pain than trying to get you. Yeah, it's less of a pain than trying to get you to leave me alone. It's fine. I don't like jack squat here. But this is like, but don't think I've come around, or don't think I've bought into what you're telling me. Something like that. I don't like convinced me of jack squat. Nobody says jack squat. But don't go thinking you're winning. I would actually go with it, but don't go thinking you're winning me over or anything like that.
もう少し素直になればいいのに。ま、受け入れる気になっただけ上出来かしら。
This is weird. They swapped this around. Like the line here is, I wish you'd be more honest about your feelings. That's what he says first. もう少し素直になればいいのに。You should just be a little more honest with yourself. But I guess getting this far is good for a start.
何にしてもそういうことなら私も協力してあげる。ニコちゃんの頑張りを無駄にしたくないものね。
I'm sorry. What do you mean if you can't beat them, join them? That doesn't make sense here. That doesn't make sense in context. What are you talking about? What do you mean if you can't? There's no context for that line. He hasn't been trying to beat them. There's no way that if you can't beat them, join them makes sense. Huh? Yeah, you can't just throw a random idiom in here. It doesn't work. 何してもそういうことなら私も協力してあげる。ニコちゃんの頑張りを無駄にしたくはないもんね。Well, if that's how it's going to be, I'll help out too. I don't want all of Nico-chan's work to go to waste. That's it. There you go. Like that's such a simple line. If I guess if that's how it's going to be, I'll help out too. I don't want Nico-chan's work to go to waste after all. There you go. It's just so easy. Also now we get to play an early game squad mission with late game units.
これより作戦を説明する。
Which means they're going to just absolutely murderize everyone. Scouts area ahead of time. Let's see. Okay, so I only get 3. How long have we been going?
作戦開始だ。
2.5 hours.
いい正体、出撃しろ。
I think we might just keep this stream just to this one. Like, it makes sense to keep it to just this,
一緒に頑張りましょうね、ゴドウィンさん。
let's all do our... But why is it let's all do our best when it's... Okay, let's do our best, Godwin. She mentions Godwin.
ほら、ゴードウィン、何か言ってあげたら？
Why don't... It's not... Don't you have something to say, but why don't you say something too?
ち足手まといにだけはなるんじゃねえぞ。
Yeah, don't hold me back. Stay out of my way. That's fine. That's fine. So where are we going? We can do this in one turn, no problem.
俺の邪魔はするなよ。そこか。見つけたぜ。見つけたぜ。
It does not matter.
楽勝だな。
I mean, don't hold me back. The sentiment is pretty similar. You know.
俺の邪魔はするなよ。
This mission will probably be pretty hard early in the game. Oh, nice. I didn't know he had that. That was almost dangerous. GG. That was tough. Sound effects seem slightly different. Is it just me? I think it might just be you. I don't think I changed them.
やりましたね。作戦大成功です。
We did it together is not. No, it's just we did it.
やっと終わったか。たく、こんな面倒な任務を押し付けやがって。
It's finally over. Do me a favor and remind me to never deploy with you two again. That's not really it. You can see he's kind of got like a nicer look on his face. Hold on. It's more like, how do I describe this? It's like I don't ever want to be forced onto a team with you two again. It's a little bit different. This is what a pain in the ass team to work with, something like that.
その割に結構張り切っていたんじゃないの？あなたがこれほど真剣に戦うとは思わなかったわ。
You looked pretty into it. Come on. Yeah, they always do that. it's like you looked pretty into it, but like they always talk about battle in a really kind of flippant sort of way. This isn't really what he said. I can't find the line in the script though. It's a little off. Sometimes these lines don't get captured by the script, but it's not. I was surprised to see you being like so proactive, something like that.
仕方ねえだろう。ジョーちゃんが危なっかしくて手を抜く暇がなかったんだ。
Holy fuck! What is wrong with you? I'm shocked. I'm gonna get the exact line because I want to have this for the Hall of Shit. But he didn't say that. Don't worry, he didn't say that. Yeah, okay, found it. Let me just copy this line down. We'll have a lot of lines to go over for the Hall of Shit. This one is... I would almost replace this if it wasn't... I don't know, is this worse? Is this worse? Let me give a proper reaction to this because holy shit, I'm surprised. This is so bad. If I hadn't been there, that little Missy'd be just another corpse to loot. No one would ever say that. Ever. That's insane. What he actually said was 仕方がねえだろ。ジョーさんが危なっかしくて手を抜く暇がなかったんだ。The previous line was like, I didn't expect to see you fighting so earnestly. You seemed like you were pretty energetic. It's like, not like I had any choice. You know, she's... What is it? It's like, she was... The way she fought was so dangerous, I didn't have any time to think. It's like the way she was moving is like, she wasn't, like, caring for herself. Like, so careless out... Yeah, it's like, I would say, like, she was so careless out there, I didn't have any time to I didn't have any time to think. I had to stay on my game. Yeah, casually saying he'd loot her dead body if she died is insane. It's actually disgusting. Especially when the actual line is like, I couldn't help it. You know, she's so careless out there. I didn't have any time to think about it. Like, I didn't have any time to... There wasn't any time to waste. Like... Like, I couldn't help it. There was no time for mistakes. Yeah, no time for mistakes. I think that's what I would go with. You know, little Miss is... Joe-chan. The little lady is so... Yeah, the little lady's so careless out there. There wasn't any time for mistakes. I didn't have any time for mistakes. Yeah, that's, like, actually insane. Oh yeah. He's nothing. He's nothing like how they're portraying him. Not even close. He's kind of a complicated, sad character, right? He grew up persecuted, and instead of, you know, whether he's right or wrong, instead of trying to, like, you know, they're setting up Nico and Godwin as kind of two sides of the same coin, right? She grew up an orphan, he grew up persecuted. Both of them had hard lives growing up. He leaned into kind of being cynical and saying, like, well, if the world hates me, I'm gonna hate the world, right? That's kind of his modus operandi. Like, I don't give a shit about looting these corpses. I'm looking out for myself. The world hates me already. Who cares if they hate me? Like, they're gonna hate me no matter what I do. So I might as well just do everything I can to get by. Whereas Nico is like, I don't care how much, you know, how hard things get, I'm going to stay positive. That's kind of the setup here. So it makes sense that they have a squad story together. But you wouldn't get that from the English.
どうですか、ゴドウィンさん。少しはお役に立てたでしょうか。
This is more like I hope I was helpful.
あなたを幸せにする方法はわかりませんが、少しでも元気になれたなら嬉しく思います。
Yeah, I know exactly how I feel even a little better. I know everything was worth it. It's not. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane that he would refer to her as a corpse to loot. 少し幸せ. I have to find my place again. Dory-san. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh, found it. Got it. Sorry for the wait there. あなたを幸せになる方法はわかりませんが、少しでも元気になれたら嬉しく思います。I might not know exactly, how to help you, but if I was able to help at all, that would make me happy. I'd be happy to hear it.
元気も何も、ただ任務をこなしただけじゃねえか。そんなことで何かが変わりゃ苦労しねえんだ。
Oh my god, why are you making him out to be like such a psychopath? That's not what he said. He didn't say shoot a couple Imperials. Fuck, man. Why? 元気も何もただ任務をこなしただけじゃねえか。そんなことで何が変わりは苦労しねえんだ。Yeah, they're just like making him an asshole, and they leave out this whole second line, which is like, what do you mean feel better? All we did was complete the mission. Like, so just doing I would go with like just doing our job isn't gonna change, isn't gonna change how much I've suffered, or isn't gonna change things for me.
だがまあ、一応は感謝しといてやる。多少なりとも。気が晴れたからな。
Well, no, it's not. I guess I feel better. Sure, I guess I feel better. No, it's... だからまあ、一応感謝してやる。しといてやる。感謝しといてやる。No, it's... But, well, I guess I should thank you. I do feel a little bit better. Like, I do feel a little bit better. I guess I should thank you. It says like... And yeah, they didn't write imps. Like they always do. But it's like... Dagama. Well, but I guess I should thank you. I do feel a little bit better.
ありがとうございます。
だからいちいち頭を下げるな。礼を言われる筋合いなんてねえよ。
Huh? This is so stupid. Why add this line? I'm not gonna stop scabbing. He didn't say that. Okay, Ichi. No, it's not. Don't get all mushy on me! Exclamation point. いやだからいちいち頭を下がるな。It's like you don't thank me for every little thing. 礼を言われる筋。It's like I haven't done anything worth praising. Yeah, it's like don't go thanking me for everything. I haven't done anything worth praising. Yeah, I don't deserve your gratitude. I haven't done anything worth praising. Like I don't know why it doesn't make sense.
そのひねくりぶりだけはいつまで経っても治りそうにないわね。
So this line right here is why they've decided to make Rosetta an asshole to him for the whole thing, even though that's not the case. He's just being a kind of a jerk here because it's like they've been through so much now, you need to cut the attitude already. It's basically what he's saying, right? そのひねくれぶり。what is it? ひねくれぶり。 That is such a hard thing to say in Japanese. Hine. Yeah, it's like pretending. Hinekuriburi dake wa itsumade tattemo naori tou ni nai wa ne. It's not even not with that attitude. It seems like you'll never stop pretending to be so cynical. Your twisted personality doesn't seem like it will ever change. I feel like hinekuriburi is more like pretending. Furi o suru. Is it furi hinekuriburi? Hinekuri furi o suru. Hinekuriburi wa itsumade tattemo naori tou ni nai na. It seems like that attitude of yours is not likely to change anytime soon. Attitude, personality, that I feel like rather than twisted, we would say cynical here. Also, what up, Cactus Steak? Good to see you. I feel like twisted is a little too literal. Hinekuru is more like cynical. There's hinniku and hinekuru is. I feel like cynical makes more sense. Yeah, none of your business is fine.
そうだったらお世話ついでにもう一つ教えてあげるわ。
Oh, if that's the case, yeah. None of your business. Speaking of business, this isn't bad actually. This is actually not a bad way to segue these two lines. It's not bad.
あなたがさっき価値があると思って拾った指輪。あれは希少な鉱石で作られた本当に値打ち物よ。
Interesting. Hold on. 価値があると思った拾った指輪、あれは希少で What is this? I'm not sure. 鉱石 It's like a で作られた本
Pulp fan don't miss, only says true
Oh, we
things.
just subscribed. Yo, what up, Northles? Thank you for the subscription. Very cool to see you. That was Kirsha's. I'm still using that. I'm gonna keep using it until I get something better, but I don't think I will. 本当に違う本物なの Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he knows that, but it's not. They left out that it's like made of a rare ore or made of a rare crystal potentially, rare ore. Nikatsu. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. I guess it's. I don't know if I would go small fortune. It's worth a lot.
宝石ほど派手な輝きがあるわけでない指輪を見て、よく高価なものと気がついたわね。
Yeah. It's like made of a rare ore, basically. And then this kind of explains it. Even though there's no jewel on it. 宝石, it's like there's no jewel on it. There's no 宝石ほど派手な輝きがあるわけでない指輪を見てよく高価なものだと気づいたわね。It's not. Most people would take it for a cheap trinket. Is not there. It's more like I'm surprised you could tell it's worth so much considering it doesn't have it's not, it doesn't have like a gaudy jewel on it. Yeah, you noticed it was valued by looking at the ring that didn't shine. That's a little too literal. I'm not sure are you tossing that into like deep TL or something like that? But this is more like, I'm surprised you could tell it was worth so much, especially since it doesn't have a gaudy jewel or anything on it.
別に大した根拠はねえよ。言うなら直感みたいなものだ。
It doesn't say I ain't no jeweler. It's nothing special. Just call it, just call it a feeling. Yeah, intuition, call it a hunch.
死体あさりで金になりそうなものを探してるうち、自然とそういうのが感覚でわかるようになったんだ。
What? This over time I got a feel for its value. beneath this. This isn't... You're trying very hard here. This doesn't make any sense. 死体あさりで他人になりそうなものを探してるうち、自然とそういうのが感覚で分かるようになったんだ。Yeah, there's like scavengers have to judge what loot's worth taken and fast. Not here. It's just... I got a feeling for while scavenging or while looting corpses, you know, 死体あさり, while looting corpses, I ended up with a natural intuition for what is and isn't worth money, or worth taking, basically.
だとしたら、あなたには鑑定士としての才能があるかもしれないわね。
If that's the case, you might have a talent for appraisal. Yeah, you might have a talent for appraisal. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Those are very, very hyper literal translations though, Cactus. I wouldn't like that's actually I'm pretty sure that's like deep TL or something, and that's one reason why I wouldn't want to replace a good translation with deep TL at this point, just because you miss a lot of the nuance.
鑑定士だとこの俺が
Yeah, me in appraisal, that's not bad.
感覚だけで物の価値を見分けるなんて誰にでもできる芸当じゃないわ。
Can we please not use these metaphors? They're just throwing random metaphors in here for no reason. Most people would judge a book by its cover. An appraiser can see a diamond in the rough and know its true worth. It's all so tiresome. It's all so tiresome. I feel bad for like having to play this game in English, because you would just get sick of this kind of cheesy writing. But that's not what he's saying. 感覚だけで物の価値を見分けるなんて誰にもできる下等？ Is that 下等? Wow, I knew it. 下等じゃないわ。It's being able to tell if something's valuable or not just by looking at it isn't something just anyone can do.
もちろん仕事にしようとするなら感覚だけでなく知識も必要になるでしょうね。
Why do you keep adding stuff? But it has to be better than looting bodies. It's not here. This line is not here. They're not talking about looting bodies anymore. Fuck. もちろん仕事にしようとするなら感覚だけでなく知識も必要になるでしょうね。It's not study up, but it's of course if you're going to make a career out of it, you'll need more than just intuition. There you go. You'll need knowledge, you'll need real knowledge, not just intuition. There you go.
そこはあなたの努力次第だけど、少なくとも今より幸福な未来だと思わない？
These lines are not here. You get out of life what you put into it. We've all faced hardships, but what matters is how we grow. He's talking about like do you not think that Godwin has heard a million pointless, stupid platitudes in his life, right? Like he's heard this. But what Rosetta is giving him is like a clear, concrete goal, like a hope for the future. And he uses the word kofuku, which is the same word that Godwin himself said, I ain't got a hope for happiness, kofuku. A guy like me has no hope for happiness. But Rosetta is giving him like a concrete, hey, don't you think you could use this skill to like turn over a new leaf and turn it into a real job? Wouldn't that be a future for you? Like a real happy future? But instead they've replaced all of that with just like fluff. Random, you get out of life what you put into it. We've all faced hardships, but what matters is how we grow from them. Like, that's why change this? Like, but of course, そこはあなたの、努力次第だけど it'll matter, you know, you'll have to work at it, but don't you think that sounds like a more of a hopeful future? Like, why would he be moved by all that bullshit fluff versus, you know, of course you'll have to work at it, but doesn't that sound like more of a hopeful future? Thank you very much, Cactus Steak, for the sub. Very good to see you.
すごいじゃないですか、コドビンさん。ぜひともやってみるべきです。
I think you should try it. It's not appraising sounds great, but that sounds amazing. You should definitely give it a try. I think you should give it a try. Also, just as a heads up, we have a yeah, we like the audience here 5 minutes ago. We have a Discord for I always mess it up because I'm used to hearing Twitch. It's members Discord. So if you become a member, you get access to the Discord. We talk about stuff. And my brother's also in there. He does Final Fantasy 14 streams for main story quest because that game is broken too. Fun.
早く戦争を終わらせて鑑定士になるのがコドウィンさんの幸せになる方法だったのですよ。
Shut the fuck up about corpses! There's no one's talking about corpses! We're done! There's no more corpses! We're not talking about corpses anymore! No one's saying anything! I'm losing my mind! What is wrong with you? 幸せな方法、おいおい。早く戦争を終わらせて鑑定士になるのがゴッドウィンさんの幸せになる方法だったのですよ。You're insane. You've actually lost the plot. Not only does she say after we win the war, I mean, she what is it? 戦争を終わせる implies winning the war for sure. It's fine. It's fine. Once we win the war, that's fine. I'll let that one slide. But it's like we should hurry up and end the war so that you can become an appraiser, and that'll be like how do I phrase this? I'm losing my mind. It turns out, you know, hurrying up and ending the war so that you can become an appraiser will be the way to make you happy. It'll be like your own, you know, your own happy future. There's like your own legitimate business. There won't be any corpses left to rob. It's like such a insane thing to say. Like treating it that lightly is nuts. I'm saving this one too. I don't even know, like, in some ways these ones aren't even worth saving because it's just not there. There's nothing to talk about. Like, I can't even say, oh, I see what they were going with this. It's a little bit different, but maybe, you know, they were thinking this way. Oh, but they missed the nuance. This is just like, you made it up. Like you made it up.
おいおい、勝手に決めるな。てかなんでジョーちゃんが張り切ってる？
Yeah, it's not more excited than I am. It's like, you know, calm down. Like, what? Why are you getting all excited? You don't get to decide this stuff for me. Why are you getting excited?
僕決めました。ゴドウィンさんを立派な鑑定士にしてみせます。
Not the best appraiser there ever was. And it's not because I care about you. I already made my decision. I'm gonna help you become a great appraiser. I already made my decision. 立派な鑑定士にしてみせます。してみせます. It's like, I'll make you. I'm gonna help you. Like, she's being very like, no, I've decided. I'm gonna help you become a great appraiser.
僕も精一杯お手伝いしますので、一緒に頑張って幸せになりましょう。
She's almost proposing to him at this point. Like, honestly. Like, that's how it comes off a bit. Like, 一緒に頑張って幸せになりましょう. No, I mean, in this line, it really does sound like she's got a thing for him, and she's proposing here. Like, 僕も, what is it? 一緒にお手伝いしますので. Right? Yeah, like, 幸せになりましょう. Let's, you know, we can. I know we can be happy.
だから俺はやるとはまだ。
No, hold your horses. No, I said, hey, I haven't agreed to.
やっぱりニコちゃんはすごい子だわ。
Shut up, 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 shut up. There's no metaphors here, please. Just, wow, Nico-chan, you really are something. You really are something.
あなたを見ていると、本当に希望を持って生きれば、必ず幸せになれるような気がしてくるわ。
Huh? There's just the Mr. Krabs like, huh? This line is completely fabricated. None of this is here. He doesn't mention the church at all. Unless I'm like losing my mind. I'm reading ahead just to make sure, but あなたを見てると本当に希望を持って生きれば必ず幸せになるような気がしてくるわ. Yeah, it's like I just seeing you, I feel like as long as you live with hope, you will definitely be able to become happy. Yeah, she said that herself, so he's kind of echoing her sentiment.
あなたは人に希望を与えるために舞い降りた天使なのかもしれないわね。
I think you might have just like lost the. He was just like, whoever's translating this was just like not paying attention or like watching Subway Surfers on the side. This is just made up. No, this is completely made up. None of this is here. This line isn't present at all. Like the rest of us poor sinners, it's a beacon of hope. No, he says, like, you might really be, you know, an angel come down to give people hope. Yeah, tenshi. They made all of this up out of tenshi. Like, あなたは人に希望を与えるためにwhat is it? 降り降りた Like descended, came down. What is this? 舞い降りた天使なのかもしれないわね. Yeah, they hammed up the religious aspects so insanely hard. Like, and it's, what is this like? You truly believe in the goodness of others, hang on to that. For the rest of us poor sinners, it's a beacon of hope. Like, huh? It's you might just really be an angel come down to give hope to people, something like that.
どこまでも人を振り回す勝手な連中だぜ。
It's not give a damn what I'm saying. 勝手な連中. It's like どこまでも人を振り回す. It's like you know, well, how much of a pain can you be just deciding all this on your own?
てめえらのせいで少しだけ生きてるのが楽しくなっちまったじゃねえか。
This doesn't add. This is so bad. Great, now I've got something to look forward to in life, and it's all your fault. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, no. What he's saying is, てめえらのせいで少しだけ生きてるのが楽しくになっちゃったんじゃねえか. It's like, ah, damn it. Thanks to you guys, I guess I do have. The line here is like, well, shit, or, you know, damn. thanks to you guys, I guess I do have something to look forward to in life. Like, something like that. Not, and it's all your fault. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. We're going to the hall. It's been 3 hours. We're going to the hall. Yeah, all the sincerity is gone. Let's count the entries. That was actually like a really good. Yeah, he was a priest, but they don't mention any of that stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 entries today. Why are you not showing up though? Sometimes, like, I have it set so that the image files should show up. Or maybe it's like set to... Okay, there we go. For some reason, if loop is clicked, even though when it's set to manual, and it like resizes itself, it's so weird. Okay, here we go. Oh, and chat is gone. Why is chat gone? Bring back chat. Hello? Why are you gone, chat? Huh. For some reason my chat box is just not working. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Cool. Let me just slide some of this around. Very, very odd that. There. Okay. I don't know why it was like that. This isn't the first one though. Slide this way. Which is the first one? La La Land was the first one. Yeah. Now they're showing up. It must have been like cut off from when we were doing other stuff. So let's start. I have the Japanese for all of these ready to go, thanks to Scott for mentioning that. So let's put the Japanese in for this one. Why is it so tiny? Oh, it's like down here. Okay. So as you can see, the Japanese for this is quite short compared to the English. どんだけ幸せならそんな思考が湧くんだ。どんだけ幸せなら. So どんだけ is like how much, but it's a really kind of like gruff. Like Godwin's a pretty good character for learning like gruff speak. Yeah, Alan, I agree. Like, the way they treat Godwin is just like he hears a bunch of platitudes from Rosetta and somehow that makes him happy. Instead of, like, actually thinking through, like, oh, he has some skills that he can use and, like, he really could have a future kind of thing. Like, so don dake is like dore dake becomes don dake. How happy does someone have to be to end up thinking like that? Shikou ga waku. Waku is to like bubble up, to come to mind. So they decided to just take his gruffness and change it to like living in La La Land where everything's rainbows and sunshine, because they don't understand how gruff people actually think or talk. Like how blessed or how easy does your life have to be to end up thinking like that, is what he's saying here. Oh, these are out of order. Oh well. This one is insane. This one is actually insane. Like, there's no excuse for this. I might have to make this just a little smaller so I can, like, yeah, something like that. Put the JP below it. Is that still, like, readable? Saved the best for early, yeah. It's not too small, I hope. So, for a lot of the ones today, again, because it's the side stories, for whatever reason, just they don't. They're way worse than the. They're way worse than the main game. Way worse. So they've just like decided that his gruffness means he's like obsessed with corpses. For some reason, they just keep talking about the corpses. So, shikata ne daro. Shikata ga nai desho. So, this is how Japanese works for gruffness, right? So, shikata ga nai. Shikata ga arimasen. So, shikata ga arimasen becomes shikata ga nai. And then shikata ga nai becomes shikata nai. Shikata nai. You drop the ga. And then shikata nai becomes shikata ne. And then shikata ne daro becomes, so like this whole thing would have originally been shikata ga arimasen desho, or shikata ga nai desho, and that all comes down to shikata ne daro, which is super gruff. This is the way Godwin talks is somewhat similar to how I talk, but it's not like I had any choice. It's actually a pretty good reading for shikata ga nai. That's the like it can't be helped. Everyone translates it as it can't be helped, which it really shouldn't be, because I don't think we ever say it can't be helped in English. So not like I had a choice is good. Everything else is awful. Joe-chan ga abunakashikute. Abunakashikute is like dangerous. So she's acting dangerous or doing things that are dangerous. Tei o nuku hima ga nakatta. I had no time to be careless. So she's acting so carelessly out there. She's kind of insulting her, but it's in like a patronizing kind of, or a paternalistic almost kind of way. Like, she's so careless out there. I didn't have any time to be off my game, or I didn't have any time to mess around. Nothing about corpses though. Just another corpse salute is kind of insane. Like, if somebody submitted that to me and I was like an editor, I would be like, oh cool, you're fired. Like, please pack your desk and leave. How could you ever explain your choice for this? Like, what possible excuse could you give for picking this? I don't think there is one. The big man in the sky. Actually, is it better or worse than Men Come and Go? It's in the same class. It's certainly in the same class. I feel like the Men Come and Go one is worse just because because it's more raw. It's a more raw emotion, right? Speculating on if someone were to die, what would happen is bad for sure, but it's not nearly as bad as literally saying like your wife is, like, your husband is dead, but men come and go. Like, he is literally dead. Like, Nico is not dead. If Godwin had said, oh great, now she's just another corpse to loot, and she was dead, that would be worse. But since nobody's dead, I don't think it's quite as bad. Also, what up, Jose? So this is just some Reddit tier. Actually. もし神がいるのなら、俺みたいな人間を生み出せねえだろうよ。 Like, big man in the sky, huh? I'm shaking in my stolen boots. Oh, this isn't the right line actually. Wait, I've got them wrong. Yeah. Never mind. This is the wrong one. I got confused because they're so wrong that I couldn't remember which Japanese goes with which. It's still Reddit. Kami-sama ne. Wait, which one is it? Let me check. Okay, yeah, it's the I never would have. There we go. Okay. There we go. I was right. This is right. Kami-sama ne, sonna mono iashine yo. You, but he doesn't wear stolen boots. You can't just. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Berman. I've insulted you twice. I've mistaken you for Scott because Scott is so helpful. Berman now gets the official very helpful mark. Hold on, let me. How do I pin a? Berman is helpful. Can I pin a comment of my own? Let me pin this so I don't forget. There we go. Okay. No, I feel bad. I shouldn't make the mistake twice. Right. Kami-sama ne, sonna mono iyashi ne. Iyashi ne. There ain't no such thing as God. God, huh? There ain't no such thing. That's the whole line. There's a big man in the sky. Yeah, you don't get high on your own boot supply. You don't wear your own stolen boots. Plus he definitely doesn't because he's in the army and they have army issued boots. Right? So he wouldn't be wearing stolen boots anyway. Unless he's looting their own fallen comrades, which I don't think he is. Probably asked before what game are you planning to do next? I'm not sure. It really just depends on like what I can get for dual audio or audio with English subtitles. Right? So I think Kirsha wanted me to do like Xeno Saga or something like that. Xenoblade, Xeno Saga. But I might have to figure out how to emulate that, like dump the ROM from PS2. I live in Japan, so like emulation and stuff is a little more legally tricky. So I would literally have to like buy the game and then get a PS2 and like show that I've done all of the work for like dumping the ROM in the BIOS and all that. Yeah, big man in the sky, huh? So this one's pretty simple. Next. So this one is kind of subtle. Did I save this? Stop. This is the one that I didn't save, but I remembered it. Yep. Got it. I remembered the line. So this one was a pretty subtle change, but still not a good change. Nico-chan も知ってるでしょ? この世界の歴史、ダルクス人が過去に何をしたか。Right? 何をしたか。Like you know what they've done, what they did. It's not been through, but it's what they did in the past, what they've done in the past. This is a more subtle setup for the previous ones. Greetings from Mexico. Hell yeah. Hello from Japan. Or if it's like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things, right? Wait, why did that comment of yours get hidden on my side? That's weird. Huh, that comment came through on my side, but it isn't showing. Oh, maybe it's top chat. I have to show live chat. Maybe I've missed some. Weird. Huh, got filtered. I don't like that YouTube does that. Shouldn't filter chats. Yeah, I think more than exposing an agenda, I just want to expose like the poor state of translations in video games and other, you know, pop culture stuff. Because like Shogun has a really great translation. Any Final Fantasy plans? My brother is doing Final Fantasy 14 main story quests, the whole thing. I am not a big Final Fantasy fan, unfortunately. I just never really got into them. But mostly it's like you need audio to listen to while you're going through the lines. Yeah, Double Perfect KO. You can subscribe to him. He does streams of it every week as well. Plus, like, real talk, Final Fantasy Japanese is super difficult. Insanely difficult. Even for Japanese people, it's difficult. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that there isn't an agenda, because there definitely can be, like, a lot. But I don't particularly care if it's coming from a place of an agenda or not, right? Like, if you're wrong, and I don't care why. If you're wrong, you shouldn't be. Now, to be sure, I'll call that bullshit out because I hate it as well, right? Like the random feminism crap and all that. But that's not my priority. Like, I'm not going to go looking for just like, oh, the translators ruined this because of feminism. But if they did ruin it because of feminism, I will definitely point that out. But by the same token, there's a lot of stuff in the past that has been ruined by just like randomly erasing gay romance and stuff. That's happened too. Like with Sailor Moon. Or like randomly, like Final Fantasy 14 has a lot of stuff where they just like added in random slurs for no reason. No. I don't. I'm not gonna be made to feel uncomfortable. You're fine, dude. It's no worries. No worries at all. Yeah. Basically, it should be done by professionals. That's my main thing. Next. This one. If in a perfect world, men like me would not exist. But this is not a perfect world. In a perfect world, men like me would not exist. I don't think I could play that video, but I want to. Yeah, if God was real, I never would have been born. Misses the entire point of this. And the key phrase here is, ore mitai na ningen. Ore mitai na ningen. It's not just ore wa, but ore mitai na, which is men like me, or a guy like me, a person like me, a man like me. If there was a God, there wouldn't be men like me in this world. Or, yeah, I would go with that. Like, if there really was a God, then there certainly wouldn't be guys like me in the world. Like, this is where he's kind of really, like, you know, hating himself. And that gets brought up by Rosette a lot. Like, he hates himself. He hates the circumstances of his birth. He hates that he was born a dark skin and that people hate him for that, so he's leaning into it. Right? He's saying, look, if this is the kind of man that I'm gonna be, then I'm just gonna lean into it. And that's kind of what makes it sad. You know, he's taken on this kind of view of himself. Yeah, if God was real, there wouldn't be guys like me. Something like that. God, these ones are so bad. Wait, I don't even remember this one. I admire your compassion, but change the words you said that. Wait. I don't think I saved this one. I don't think I saved this one. This is one that doesn't line up at all. This is... Wait, I've got to... Wait, let me check the next one. Okay. I don't have the line for that. I have the line for this one though. I think. Alright, see you dude. Thanks for stopping by chat. Good to have you. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Yeah, Dakara, they really got obsessed with like looting bodies and saying it over and over. Dakara Godwin-san wa anna ikikata o shiteru no desu ka? Like, so that's why he's... So that's why he lives the way he does. That's why he does what he does. He's only trying to survive was not there. Wait, I could have sworn I had this. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The Monster Hunter games. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure they're not. When I played World, I'm remembering that it wasn't like the best, but I don't think it was terrible. Yeah, they got super direct with the corpse looting. It was kind of insane. This line got really wonky. Nico enjoys life because she knows how hard it can be. If you never stop believing, you'll always have hope. But this line is more like "Kibou o motte ikereba kanarazu shiwase ni nareru." As long as you have hope, you can always find happiness. Kurushii kara koso. Kara koso. Like this kurushii kara koso is, so this kara is like a because, and koso is like a in spite of, right? So, it's kind of like a, I don't know how to describe this, like grammatically. I'm very bad at describing Japanese grammar, but this kara koso is not just because, but it's like in spite of, or precisely because, right? Kurushii kara koso, anoko wa sei no yorokobi o rikai shiteru. It's precisely because of the hardship she's gone through that she understands what real happiness is, or she can understand real happiness. Okay, I think that's all of them. There were even worse ones, but I got overwhelmed. It's this one. Changing the world is easier said than done. I don't... Oh wait, was it this? I think it was this. It was just like it didn't line up at all. Yeah, それはまた難しいことを考えたものね。さてどうしたものかしら? Yeah, it's just like it didn't line up at all. I think this is the right one. I might be wrong. If you go back through the VOD and I'm wrong, I apologize, but these lines don't line up to the Japanese at all, so, you know. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, I think I might highlight this stream just because it's so bad again. I need like a way to label these so it's like in the same series. It's like, maybe I should just do part 2. Like the translator should have been fired for this. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo or something. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm hates that though. But yeah, worse overall, this or Millennia's? Ooh, I think Millennia's is just worse because it was so, like, I don't sense an agenda in this one other than just like you are stupid and don't know how people think. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really feel like they were trying to sell me on something so consistently. Whereas with the girls one, it was like, so in your face with everything. Like, you don't need no man. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're us girls. It was like constant. It was just over and over and over in your face. Like, I definitely think that one's worse, for sure, for sure. It was just so obnoxious. And it's like, if a guy doesn't understand that, he doesn't deserve you. Like, okay. This one is just kind of like, you really missed the plot, and the corpse looting thing is like way off, and the tone is way off, and you just kind of like made up a bunch of platitudes. But the girls one was just like so pointedly bad. You could tell that they were like preaching at you, like they really wanted to be like, we didn't like the way this one goes, so we're just gonna change it. Yeah, the overhanded selling of the dark skin discrimination, they just decided to use like modern terminology instead of just letting it actually hang the way it should. You know what I mean? Like the sentiment was still there. It's not like they flipped it on its head. They just like cranked up the modern dialogue for some reason. You know, that felt a little agenda-y, but not like as overt. But yeah, I'm gonna see about doing the robot thing tomorrow so I can make that into the video. That was our 2,500 subscribers. Thank you very much again for all the subs and all the memberships and all that. I will try and get that video up as soon as I film it and do the robot fight. And then next week, what is next week? Yeah, next week's the 5th and the 6th. Yeah, I will definitely be back on the grind. If the weather is nice, we might do an IRL, but if it's not nice, we'll do more Tokyo school life and Japanese learning games. So, thank you for tuning in again, lads. Always good to see you. Always good to stream with you. And yeah, I will talk to you later. Peace out. See you guys. Thank you. Bye.